Who's early? Who's early? What do you mean early? But you didn't expect that, did you? 2 minutes early? You're right, girlie. Come on then. Come on then. Come and say hi. Come and say hi to the gang. Oh, I'd give you a bit of this, but it's chocolate. You're not allowed it. Tracy, welcome. How you doing? I'm stressed out. Stressed out my mind. Just gonna let the dog out. She's not happy. She's not happy, so. Hello, Jed. Welcome, mate. You right? Oh dear. I'll tell you why. Tell you why I'm stressed out. So, I've had a guy, right, Thursday last week, I'd organised for a guy to come round and collect a couple of sofas. We had some old sofas, and he's going to collect them. And then I had a load of chaff out from the back garden, loads of chemical barrels, sealer containers, just general chaff, basically. I've got a picture of it here. This stuff here. This is my house, and this is my driveway. So I've got two big sofas. I've got all my my barrels. I've got an old pump. I've got pallets. I've got a ping pong table. I've just got chaff out of the shed that I'm never going to use again. And I'd organised for him to come and collect it. 200 quid. I didn't even haggle. I was like, yeah, whatever, just if you can come and get it, that's great. And then he just never turned up. Messaged me on the Friday, said, mate, I've been in jail. Like, I've just got out of jail. I was like, whatever. So it's been out all weekend, just getting rained on. The sofas are like soaking wet. And all the rain we've had as well, and the wind just blowing everything about everywhere, and it's just been sat there all weekend getting pissed on. And then he says Monday, I'll come and collect it Monday because I don't get the van back till Monday. I was like, all right, what time? 11 o'clock. All right, text him today at like 12 o'clock saying, is it all sorted? No response. Text him again saying, mate, I know you ain't been. Don't bother. I'm going to get someone else. And then he replies instantly saying, I'm still waiting to get my van back. And he takes a picture of him in like the police station or something. I don't know. But I'm just fuming because it's just been causing me such a headache. There's so many reasons why this has like really made me angry. So I've got someone else coming tomorrow morning to come pick it all up now, but just wasting my time with people just messing me around. Imagine if I ran my business like that. Just never turned up, no communication, nothing. Hello Darren, welcome. Dan, how you doing? Evening Simon. Yeah, thanks. It's yeah, I didn't have any videos planned. I thought, well, I haven't done a proper walk around of this van yet, so I thought it might be a good idea. Codrin, welcome. Sounds like a bit of a pickle. It wound me up. Well and truly wound me up. It's been stressing me out all day today. Love the bit where you got soaked. I know. No, I get bleach over me all the time. It's unlikely he has a waste carrier's license. Oh, I put a post up on Facebook saying, can anyone come and get rid of this? It's on like a recommendations page on Facebook, and I had, no lie, about 30 comments within about 10 minutes. And then just constant messages trying to sort out the people that have actually got waste carriers licenses. People giving me like rough estimates and then saying we might be able to come tomorrow. I'm like, no. Give me a price, give me a time and a day like a normal person, and then maybe I'll accept your offer. Like, it's just, people are just messes. Absolute messes. Nils, welcome. Darren, Matt. Lynchy, I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before. Welcome. Shane, Kieran. Smelly Pants goes everywhere. Every smelt he can. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't because he has smelly pants. Welcome, Craig. You're such a knob. For no reason, all the time. We've got a guest today. We've got Liam coming in to say hello. By the way, just a quick poll. I'm going to put it in here actually, just so we can get a vote on it. I've bet Jakey. He's so confident, it's winding me up so much. We're going to have an arm wrestle. Who would win? Can't type. An arm wrestle. Jake or Jakey? He's so confident, it's winding me up. So I said, right, let's put 100 quid on it. Because he'll probably beat me. Because he should beat me. Because he goes to the gym like 5 days a week and he plays rugby. And I do nothing. But if he doesn't, I'm going to be... he'll be devastated if he doesn't win. Wow, 14 votes already. 100% of you think Jakey's going to win. That's damn it. You're all traitors. I can't believe it. I'm siding with Jakey. No way. Don't even bother with the poll. My waste carrier's license was free from our council. It's worth getting, really. What do you need to be able to drive your van into the tip? You know where they take like residential waste, where you take your household waste. I want to be able to take my van there. To be honest, I don't even think I'll fit around the bend. It's like a U-turn as you go in. I think it's so that vans don't get in there, to be fair. Yeah, they probably made it like that on purpose, actually. Right, 20 votes, and all of you think Jakey's going to win. Okay, great. I can't wait to prove you wrong. If I prove you wrong... I didn't even get one sympathy vote. That's crazy. You need a permit. Oh, okay. I can go to my local tip 18 times per year. That's interesting. So, like, yeah, schedule that in for once a month, and then keep a couple spare if you get desperate. Had to apply for free. You need your van. Your van needs to look like a car. Oh, so it's like a car-derived van, or a van-derived car. Oh, okay. If you prove us wrong, we'll all have to do one next week of window cleaning. If you prove us wrong, we all have to do 1 week of window cleaning. We've got a big window cleaning job coming up on Sunday. If it's going to stay... Is it going to be frosty on Sunday? Weather... Actually, I'll just get my phone. Where's my phone? Because if it's going to freeze overnight again, I'm going to be fuming because I've already rescheduled it once. Has anyone else been having real issues with scheduling the last 7 days? Oh great, it's going to rain again on Sunday. That's awesome. Lovely, just what we need when we're cleaning windows and gutters and fascias and soffits. Fantastic. You're allowed as long as you find the council to book in advance. Oh, okay. You're going to be bored on Sunday eating peanuts, making peanuts. Andy, welcome. Should we pull Liam in, see if he's around? Dum 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 boom. We've had a few technical issues before we started, so hopefully this all goes to plan. I've had like 5 messages from people today asking for quotes. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? Oh, you're coming through the wrong bit. Hang on. Earphones.
I pulled the chat up so I can see the chat as well.
Yeah, that's ideal. That is.
I've been sat here while you've been gone writing a list of questions and stuff.
Oh, nice. You've got questions for me?
Not questions as much. I'm just a bit curious.
Okay. I've got questions for you too. So, welcome. Thanks for taking the time, by the way. This is very cool.
It's all right. No worries. Thank you for inviting me.
That's all right. I don't know if you want to start by like introducing yourself and letting us know how long you've been going and what sort of services you offer and all that sort of stuff.
So, yeah, no worries. I'm Liam from LRS Exterior Cleaning. You may have seen my videos. You may have not have done. Basically, I started about 20 months ago, I think now. So it was about the May of 2023. Maths might be completely out there. But yeah, I basically started out doing just pressure washing, and then I thought, in order to, keep this going, I need to try window cleaning. So I tried window cleaning. That went for so long, and then I've already sold the round by now. But now I've kind of scratching my head again, trying to, work out whether I should start it again.
Why did you sell your round? Was it because it was boring?
Partly that.
Was it actually?
Do you know what I mean when I say like I like project work? As in, I like to see a clear difference of before and after, and spend all day at one job.
Yes, and that's been my issue with window cleaning. You can't get a good before and after photo of a window, and no one's interested in seeing a picture of a clean window. Like it's nothing to look at unless it's super filthy and the frame's all manky and horrible. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so anyway, I sold it because I was partly bored and partly didn't enjoy it. And also, I was like 8 weeks behind because I had so many other jobs booked in, such as roofs and, pressure washing and things. But now it comes down to winter, and I got a bit scared, and I thought, you know what? I might have to jump back on it. 3 weeks ago, I was completely dead, and I thought, right, I need to get this window cleaner back on. And then now it's back up again. I bought all the kit. I bought a reel. I bought a tank, and now I don't think I'm even going to use it.
Really?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That was my first concern when I was thinking about starting a window cleaning round. Was like, I'm already pressure washing, and that's what I want to do mainly. If I start window cleaning, I'm going to build this round up and have commitments to all these people, and then as soon as it gets busy again with the pressure washing, I'm going to have no time to do both things. So, like, I don't know what people do that offer both. I actually don't know how they do it.
This is what is constantly worrying in my mind at the moment. It's like, I want to build a round, but at the same time, I don't want to continue doing the round me, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I want to build it and then have someone that can go and do it as well as do a couple of days helping me out, if you know what I mean. But I'm also scared at that point because you're like trapped. Do you know what I mean? If it doesn't work, you're stuck.
My sister's in that exact position. She just started her cleaning business, like interior cleaning. And she's like, right, I filled my calendar and I reckon I could do that again. But now I need to employ someone, train them, have them come round with me probably not take a wage while I'm training them because I've got to pay them at the same time. And it's like, how do I go from one person to 2 people while I've only got a limited amount of time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all right if you've got loads of work on and you're pressure washing and doing big jobs and stuff. You can sort of train some, like me, I sort of trained Jakey and just sort of upped the workload ever so slightly. So we did, instead of doing 1 job a day, I was doing like 2 jobs a day. And that was really like a super easy transition because he was already able to get going because he already had the equipment available to him. So we weren't just sat there sort of twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah. See, this is the thing though as well. Like today, I scraped a roof and cleaned up all by myself in one day, which I actually don't think would have been any quicker with 2 people. The only way I think that roof cleaning is quicker with 2 people is if you have 2 lots of equipment such as scaffolding, poles, and you can scrape or pressure wash both sides of the roof at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's probably 1.5 times, if you know what I mean. Like it's almost. Do you know what I mean? So you're probably 1.5 times quicker with another person.
Yeah, so the other day, me and Jakey scraped a roof together, and he was able to take care of a lower section from the floor while I was doing another section from the scissor lift. And so that worked perfectly. We had 2 poles, 2 roof scraping attachments, 2 blades, and we were able to sort of crack on. But in those times where I was up on the scissor lift, like biociding, there's only a certain amount of stuff that he can do, like vacuuming the gutters, for example. And like, don't get me wrong, he absolutely shifted his weight. Like, he was incredibly useful. I'm not saying that he didn't do anything that day. But like you say, unless you've got like a tower on the front and a tower on the back, 2 roof scrapers doing the same amount of work, it's like we've got a pressure washing job to clean a roof on Wednesday, but we've only got 1 power pole. So other than clearing the gutters, I don't know what Jakey's really going to be doing for most of the day. And I'm sure he's going to help. Of course he's going to help, and he's going to help out with getting the equipment out of the van and packing up and all that sort of stuff. But majority of the time, he's probably just going to be watching.
This is kind of where I'm scratching my head as well, to be honest. Because I almost feel like you kind of want them to come in a bit later. Do you know what I mean? You always want them there, then not to be there, then there again. But also, there's also time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had someone that was basically on and off with me who had a part-time job secondly. And do you know, like when you're scared to pass over rains?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't let him go off on the tower and pressure wash the roof because out of safety-wise, because the first time that anyone's on a tower and goes boom like that with a pole, do you know what I mean? Yeah. that was scary, and I've still never let anyone do that. But
yeah, I know what you mean. It's and also like it's not only relinquishing responsibility; it's like hoping and praying that they're gonna do the same standard of work as you are, and that's my fear of. And again, like it's nothing about Jakey's capabilities whatsoever, but me sending him out in his own van. And me sort of not even having any part in that job whatsoever, and just hoping that he doesn't hurt himself, he doesn't damage anything, that he does a good job, and the customer's happy and he gets paid properly and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot to just have one person going out doing on their own.
I know what you mean, because you kind of like things like bins and things get covered in crap, don't they, and whatever else. It's little things like that where you'll remember to do it, but you're not sure if anyone else would.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And just like having that last walk around at the end of the job, just to make sure we haven't left anything, or like just today, while Jakey was packing up the van, we were cleaning some gutters, faces, and soffits, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't stop because I kept seeing bits on the faces. And I was going around with a rag and just wiping bits. I was going around the windowsills. I was probably there for an extra half an hour, just going around wiping stuff, just making sure everything was perfect.
It is just them little bits, though, isn't it, that make you stand out?
Yeah. And
like customers that see that will be over the moon, kind of thing.
Yeah, the customers definitely saw the extra effort, and it's How
many Google reviews have you got?
Google reviews. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I'm just having a look myself. Oh, you got 59.
Is that good?
That's good, yeah. Yeah, you got double what I've got. So they say, don't they, that if you're going to push SEO, that you kind of want to get 10 to 20 a month.
10 to 20 a month?
Of reviews, yeah, and that will really boost your business profile.
I'm not very good at chasing people for reviews because
no, neither am I.
I don't want to pester people, but also like they said they were gonna.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I forget. It's one of the things that I just forget to do. And like a month later, I'll send out an email saying you recently had work done. Would you like to leave a review? And if I don't reply, they don't. But I get like 3 out of 10 probably.
How does that work? How do you have that everyone's email addresses?
So no matter what it is, whenever I turn up to a job and I look and whatever, and then I take their contact details, I take their name, email address, phone number, and address. It's just something recently I started doing since about August time. And I will put all of their details into, I've only got an Excel sheet, but I'll put it all in there, and I'll just say what job has been done, whether it's gutters, pressure washing or anything like that, and that will sort it into a season. So if it's pressure washing in March, they'll get an email saying, like last year you had this done. Would you like anything different done? But yeah, I feel like trying to retarget the same people is really kind of important.
That's a really good idea. I'd say that was fairly high effort, remembering to come back and put their details into a spreadsheet. What you might want to try is, I've got a Google form where I've let me just pull it up. I give that responsibility to the customer basically, and say contact information. So upon accepting the booking, I will send this to them. I don't know if you can see it on stream. They fill in their details, and then they tell me which services are required. And that way, once the booking's confirmed, or once they've accepted your quote and they've gone ahead with it, you say, just to confirm the booking, can you please fill in your details here? And that way, and that ports it all onto a spreadsheet for you then, with all those fields, so you can just reference it later.
That is a good way of doing it. Definitely, it's definitely better than what I'm doing anyway.
Well, it's more convenient.
How do you find that? So if I wanted to do that, do you have to send it to me?
I can send you a copy if you want to just copy it, but it's go on to Google Drive. Have you got a Google Drive?
Yeah.
And then on the left-hand side, you should see forms probably. New. Yeah, that's it.
I almost use all my storage.
Yeah, same. I've got like 4 accounts on Google Drive. So if you click on new on the left-hand side and then go on to like Google Forms, it'll give you like a template.
I see.
I'm actually going to do it from scratch here, just so that people can see.
So this is what I wanted. This is kind of what I wanted to do with a waiver. I say waiver, like a pressure washing of roof form. Do you know what I mean?
I've done one for roofs, so I can send you that as well if you like.
Yeah, it's only because just a hard copy. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just a yes on a message kind of thing.
Yeah. So go on to Google Forms, and then if you go on Forms, you can get like a blank form or a contact info form, and it gives you like a template. And then I think Matt showed me this. And then once you've made this form and you customized it, you then go into setting responses, and then you link it to Sheets, and so that'll link it to a Google spreadsheet for you, and it has all these fields, the name, email, address, all along the top of the spreadsheet, and so it sort of does it all automatically for you. And so,
oh wow, and you can link it to Sheets as well.
Yeah, so whenever you get a response, it just auto populates.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, my website has similar, but I keep at the moment getting spam from people from Rwanda or places like that trying to ask me for a job, and I've now kind of turned it off so only one email address can do one reply. But it's taken a bit of annoying work, if you know what I mean, to try and work that out.
I have a lot of people on my contact form asking me, telling me they've seen a mistake on my website and they want to help me rectify it, and it's constant.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite good though. Do you use WordPress?
No, my brother dabbled in WordPress, but no, I've not really looked into it.
Because what I have, I just don't know how good this would be on quality.
Mm-hmm.
Do I flip the camera? Oh, there we go. So this is basically all my entries I get. So I keep up with this per day. So this is all from Google Ads, really. So obviously it will say their number, name, address, and what they're looking for.
Okay.
That comes up as an email on my phone.
Right.
But obviously this is one of them spam ones where it asks for, I've got something about your website that's quite unique or whatever.
So
but
is your website a WordPress website then?
Yeah. So I designed part of it myself. I basically learned how to use WordPress and how to build a website. I'm currently building someone's website. He might actually be in the chat. Is his name Codrin?
Yeah.
Codrin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently building his website. It's a bit of a slow burner because obviously I'm on my own and still trying to work at the same time.
Yeah.
But the idea is to basically have everything so that you can push your ads to that form. So that if someone wants a quote and they want it quickly, they will send you an instant email as soon as someone's filled out that form, and you can reply almost instantly, and you can give them a call back or anything like that quite quickly, and it will record that conversion as well on Google Ads, so you can see that someone's clicked this and done this and filled in and tried to contact you.
So they'll see an ad. Where do they see these ads? Is it like on the top of Google when they type in?
So
pressure washing?
As you can see here where it says sponsored, that's my ad.
Oh, okay.
So that will come up if someone types in roof cleaning or something like that in the area.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the top ones, but obviously you get this Google guaranteed thing as well, which I'm not because you have to be a limited company. They're at the top, and then you're one of the first or second, which will say sponsored. And then that will take them straight to my home website, which the second thing down you scroll is my form. So instantly they know that if they like what they see, they can fill out a form.
So
rather than it be right at the bottom.
So it takes you to this homepage, and then it just says get a quote, and they can fill it in right there.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the reason why it's second in place there, as you see one scroll down, is because of the idea of it being right at the bottom. I don't know why it does that that weird thing on your screen. It doesn't do that to me. The reason why I put it there instead of at the bottom was because I was worried that people would scroll a bit and then press back and then look for someone else. You know what I mean? Without kind of going, actually, I'm quite interested.
Yeah.
Get a quote quickly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also, you don't want to send them straight to the contact page because then they haven't seen your website. They've just seen the contact area. And if you send them to the home page where they get like an overview of what your service is, but your contact sheet isn't, your contact sheet's at the very bottom of the page. They've got a lot of scrolling to do before they actually, fill it. Yeah, it's a good idea, that is.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on with my website. Matt actually messaged me the other day saying there's a lot of weird things going on like that. I haven't actually got around to it yet, but
you've got
weird on that content.
You've got your Google reviews on there as well. That's cool. I think on my GoDaddy site, I could link my Facebook reviews. Yeah, just there. But I don't think I'm able to link my Google reviews, which is an issue.
Is that on GoDaddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really used GoDaddy. I have no idea about it, but there is a way you can do it. I have seen it.
Oh, okay.
I think. Can you install a plugin on it?
Oh, possibly, maybe. Yeah. Honestly, I don't really know much about all this sort of stuff. I'm kind of. So, you're running Google Ads. Do you want to tell us how much you're spending on Google Ads?
So I've turned it down a little bit. I was doing about £40 a day about 3 weeks ago.
Jesus.
I had commercial jobs coming in, and it was you can definitely see that I doubled it. So I was £22 a day, and I doubled it to almost £40 a day.
That's almost as much as me and Jakey spend on lunch every day.
Yeah, you can see the reason why. I honestly think that £20 should be the minimum that you should be able to spend on Google Ads, because if you spend a £5 a week or whatever, a £5 a day, you're probably going to get one lead every 2 months or so.
Right. Okay.
Spending £40 a day, I guaranteed myself definitely a lead a day. So, and it would be anything. It would range from a roof. One day I got 3 roofs in a row that come in for a lead.
Really?
It's a joke. And if I'm honest, if I'm ever stuck for work, I'm just going to turn up my ad money wise.
Well, she says £15 a day minimum on Google Ads for gutters.
Yeah, see, I don't actually add gutters. My theory is that if I can sell a roof clean, I can sell gutters alongside. Do you know what I mean? So if I, like these at the moment, as soon as you see this leaflet, it says here you get a free gutter and window clean of every roof clean. So basically, just to push them a little bit more to do a roof, because I feel like if you advertise gutters, you're competing with every window cleaner in the area. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's not many people that are cleaning roofs.
No, that's the thing. So if I'm going to stand out, I want to stand out in something that's a bit more specialist, if you know what I mean. Like, that's
very impressive. You're very switched on with all this sort of stuff, aren't you?
Well, I try to kind of,
when you're running a Google ad and you're literally just spending 40 quid a day on your Google ads. Are you doing anything else other than? I want to talk about your leaflets in a minute, but to facilitate those leads every day, do you literally make a website, link that website to your Google Ads, and just click pay £40 a day, and it does everything for you, or do you need to do anything else?
There's a lot of setup and trial and error with it. Well, if you've never touched Google Ads before, it's a very hard thing to learn overnight. You're basically going to be like, if I show you in the last 7 days, this is me spending £22 a day. I've got 47 clicks, and my average cost per click is £1.58, and my cost is £74. Whereas about a month ago, that was almost double, triple that. The reason why I've turned down is because I've somehow managed to get fully booked up until a week before Christmas.
That's brilliant.
But that's all Google Ads. That is all Google Ads, I think. I haven't done any knock-in or leaflets yet. But yeah, it's quite, you can get quite lost in it quite easy, and you can kind of do it for a month and then say, hang on a minute, it's not working at all. But it's because of certain things. Like when I set up a new campaign for someone, you basically want as many clicks as possible, and then you can learn the demographic of people you're trying to target. And then you can switch from clicks to conversions, which basically mean that you can track everything that's going through your ad, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then your keywords are very specific. So if you type in roof cleaning as a keyword, you're going to come up with the people that all over the country that do roof cleaning. You're going to compete with, I don't know, one of the biggest companies in the country that provide all areas of the UK.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can narrow it down to a local area that's quite big. So for me, Colchester, Ipswich are the closest big towns to me. That's basically what I do. And then it will have a radius around it, so I can choose how far out I want to target. And that works quite well. But that's only because I've spent so long trying to kind of work out why that works so well. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's quite difficult to kind of explain.
So that radius, I've seen people say your ad is showing up in so-and-so, and it's clearly not where you're from. Like I see it all the time on Facebook where people comment on a sponsored post saying your ad is showing up in London, whereas you're based in Scotland, for example. Is that a similar thing with Google Ads? Do you find that area works? Like you're only getting inquiries inside that area, or do you occasionally find you get inquiries outside the area?
I've had one in the last month from a place called Wickford, which is near Southend, which I actually forwarded on to Ryan, curbside cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
It was a gutter job, so I was like, I'm not driving an hour and a half to do a gutter job, which I don't know how big it was or anything like that. So I just passed it straight on to him. But other than that, my region is very close. I would show you the words, but there's quite a few. I've got 7 pages of keywords. But my top keywords are. Hang on, sorry. My top keywords are roof cleaning Ipswich, roof cleaning companies Ipswich, roof cleaning companies Colchester, gutters cleared near me. I spent £232 on gutters cleared near me in a month. What? I didn't even see that.
Is that because people have typed that?
Yeah, so people have literally typed gutters cleaned near me, and I've had 44 clicks in a month.
You know the keywords. So you can't put one keyword is gutters, another keyword is clearing, cleaning, roof, cleaning. You've got to put roof cleaning, gutter clearing, gutter cleaning, roof scraping.
No, not
pressure.
necessarily. So if you can do this, which I haven't actually turned on, but you can literally type in like cleaning gutter roof near me moth.
Yeah.
Colchester gutters and things like that, but my searches are actually more units. These are the ones that are turned on.
More specific.
Yeah, so these are, and then you can also see who you're competing with. So I'm the blue one, which is my performance rate on ads, and then Bark is next. Ben's gutters is quite a bit down.
Bloody hell, I didn't know you could see that stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. So it just shows that my impression is 30%. So 30% of people that will look for a service, I will show up. But obviously that depends on how much you're spending per day, because you can spend, if you targeted a wide range of people, you can spend £20 before you even woke up. From midnight till 6 o'clock in the morning, you can easily spend your daily spend in that time. If you're targeting a massive area, if you know what I mean.
Does it always spend your daily spend?
Yeah. So the leads, so the click will cost a certain amount per day, which can change. So if you get 2 clicks a day, it will cost £11 per day. But those 2 clicks can be big, like, good jobs, if you know what I mean. They can be people that have really had a good look at your website and clicked on it a few times and things like that.
Yeah. So if you do like a maximum spend of £20 per day, will it always spend £20 per day?
Roughly, it can go over by a few quid, it can go under by a few quid.
Really?
But yeah. It's really good because it's consistent, and you also know that the people you're targeting are the people you want. Whereas if you do Facebook, I was getting messages from the other side of the country saying, "I've just seen your ad," when I specifically chose it for it to be in one area. And you basically target people you don't want to target. You try and get people that are satisfied by the video or photo that you've got out there, if you know what I mean. And Google, you're actively looking for the people that you want to see your business, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Washi says if you set your budget for £20 a day and you only spend £12, it will spend £28 the next day. Oh, I see. So it'll like average it.
I from my experience, I spend pretty much my budget every single day, mostly. Sometimes it's 18, sometimes it's 25.
Would you recommend? Because lots of people say, "I'll set up your Google Ads for you." Would you recommend having someone do it for you, or would you recommend trying to learn it yourself?
Depends on how much money you've got to spend and how quickly you need work and how busy you are. If you're really, really busy, you can waste a few quid trying to learn yourself. Whereas if you need it to work and need it to work tomorrow, you should probably get someone to do it for you.
But then you're probably also paying them like a monthly subscription to manage it for you.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is that what I try and do, I only manage 3 people's ads at the moment. What I try and do is get on it at least once every couple of days and just see what's working and what's not, and then change a few things if they need to be changed. And if they're getting the wrong customers and they're spending quite a bit, you can kind of work out what's wrong quite easily. But it's difficult to say really, because it's a great thing to learn, and you can set up your Google Analytics as well, which can alongside that.
Mate, I think this is your calling. I think forget exterior cleaning. You're good at this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but
you've just ordered 20,000 leaflets as well, haven't you?
Yes, that's a big thing that's coming.
I want to pull up a picture Where did you post it in the Discord?
It's in the marketing chat. Me and Matt had a conversation for about 8 hours. It's about a week ago, I think.
Look at that.
What on earth have we here? 9 boxes of what?
9 boxes.
Yeah, and
is going on?
Yeah, they just left them there as well, which I was quite annoyed about. But lucky I was only around the corner. And then 5 minutes after this, someone crashed into me. I still had the leaflet.
We'll talk about that in a second as well. What possessed you to order 20,000 leaflets, and how are you going to distribute them? And how much did it cost?
So these leaflets cost me £210 for 20,000. To distribute them, I'm going to go with Royal Mail. I'm going to give Royal Mail 15,000 to deliver, and then on days that I've got nothing else to do. But can you see there? I've messed up a little bit. The picture overlaps the other one.
Oh, ever so slightly, yeah. Oh, I bet
it's a bit frustrating.
I bet that really winds you up, doesn't it?
And the white line, yeah, it does. But the thing is, leaflet's going to go in the bin anyway. I'll just know for next time when I really. But the idea is to get 20,000 of these out. Well, like I say, 15,000 of these out with Royal Mail. However, I'm going to try and I think I'm going to go for the end of January. I think I'm just going to hold on to them for a little while, because I feel like over Christmas you're basically competing with Domino's and everyone like that that's going to start sticking food leaflets out and things. But January, people start to want to spend money again, and you head into February and March, and people might keep your leaflet for that period of time.
Are you thinking of all these nuances by yourself, or are you learning this from someone?
I'm just taking it as much as possible. The thing is with leaflets,
because what you just said there about the Christmas period, more people are going to be putting leaflets in the post.
Yeah.
That's very logical, but I would have never even considered that.
I spoke to a few people. So I spoke to Dunn's Power Washing about how he kind of gets leaflets out and things. I spoke to a Royal Mail person local to me, and I said, how many leaflets do you stick out during Christmas period? And they were like, it's our busiest time. So I basically just kind of narrowed it down to when, as soon as possible, I want to get these out. And yeah, I mean, Matt's been a massive help in the whole design and ideas of this kind of design, if you know what I mean, because you want to kind of catch, like I think you said as well, because these bits were meant to be orange. I had these as orange. I think you said change them to blue because it highlights the roof a lot more.
Yeah.
So there's little things like that that, you know, kind of really helped, because I do feel like that's probably the best design that I'd probably make.
Yeah.
Go out at 20,000, if you know what I mean.
If anyone's got any questions, by the way, about the certain bits that we're talking about, Liam can see the chat. And
I've missed quite a lot.
yeah, maybe we should stop every 5 minutes just to catch up with the chat. So 20,000 leaflets cost you 250 quid.
Yeah. And then for Royal Mail to put them out, it's about 1,300 quid.
£1,300.
Yeah. But they'll all go out within a week. If I was to do 1,000 a day, it would probably take me a good month to get them out. And 1,000 a day is probably 8 hours.
It's impressive that you're able to earn enough as a one-man band to be able to facilitate all this sort of stuff, because that's a hell of a lot of money you're putting into your Google ads, into your leaflets, you're distributing them, and then also normal stuff like chemicals, breakdowns, maintenance, all that sort of stuff that everyone deals with. It must be working, but like also running all the ads in the world and getting fully booked. There's only so much one man can do. Do you know what I mean? Do you think it is time to expand and not necessarily expand, but get some help? And I know winter is a scary period.
March for me is the aim. This is why I want to get these leaflets out then and build up to then, if you know what I mean. So March is probably when I will 90% bring someone in March, and they will come out with me until probably June, I'd imagine. So a good few months with me learning everything. And this time I'm going to try and, you know, pass over the reins a bit better, such as, you know, like sticking them on a roof and actually doing the job rather than just pushing a broom.
Well,
I feel like as well with that, because you can manage a lot more yourself, as in when these 20,000 leaflets, I'm expecting a fair few phone calls and the ads at the same time. It would be good to get someone on board, but I'm just going to wait and see.
What you could do is start them off with the driveways and the gutters and the windows and that sort of stuff. And while you're training them on roof cleaning, and when they get to the point where they're really competent on roofs, that's when you let them go out on their own, rather than, because on a roof clean you'll probably still both be there. I can't imagine you'll just let someone go off and do their first roof clean on their own, sort of thing. It's ideally roof cleaning's a two-man job, really.
I think I'll probably try and get two as quickly as possible. And then try and teach them both at the same time, because the ideal situation is that they can just go out and do a roof without me needing to be there, and I can just go back, like you say, and just check everything's done nicely, it's all tidied up, the equipment's all good. Focus on marketing. I enjoy that bit the most, if I'm being honest, the marketing side.
That's crazy, by the way, because that bores the hell out of me, all that sort of stuff does.
I drove the other day to offices and schools and literally walked through the door and said, "Can I speak to your site manager or manager?" and just tried to get my foot in the door. And quite nicely as well, it's led on, because that week before Christmas is when all the kids break up from school. And quite nicely, only one said yes to this year, but all of them said, "We'll have you in next year for gutters and things." And I've booked 2 in already. It's quite nice because you kind of have to get your foot in the door quite early to get on that stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like just having one back is quite reasonable, because I'm probably going to be there for 2 or 3 days myself. It's something stupid. I think I called you about it, didn't I? How many conservatory roof plastic panels there were. Did
you get that quote? Did you win it?
I won it, yeah, but we're going to try and work out when to do it, because I think I'm going to be there for a long time by myself. Because there's something stupid like 36 metres by 8 metres worth of conservatory roof panels. And they take a long time, and they're grubby and horrible.
wasn't you telling me it was something to do with canopies?
It might have been, yeah. No, canopy one is actually the same school as that, but I didn't get that bit yet.
Oh.
So that bit's going to come soon. But basically, they were just canopies that were on top and underneath, but they were quite annoying to access because I thought about it for a little while, and brush and TFR would probably be the best route, but it probably.
Is it literally like a tent, like
Yeah,
that sort of material? Because I did one a couple of weeks ago at Dream Car Garage, and I think that might have been the same sort of stuff, and we used a flat surface cleaner on it.
If I send you the picture on Discord,
Mm-hmm.
can I do that from here?
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean. It's all different levels and things. Don't know how long ago it was.
So this is the one me and Jakey did the other day, and it was almost like a carport, like a fabric canopy, and we just used the power pole and a flat surface cleaner on it, and it came.
Yeah, they do come up lovely, don't they? That looks really good.
Is that the similar sort of material?
Similar material, yeah. It's just going to be a bit of a ball ache in terms of access. So this is it.
Darren,
this is the only picture I've got of the canopies.
Darren says, "How do you price school canopies?" I feel like you just sort of guess. I mean, I would be sort of guessing. It's such a weird thing to. Oh, I see what you mean.
That is, yeah. It's a bit of a nightmare in terms of access.
How many of those are there?
There's 4, I believe.
4 sets of these.
Yes, that's the only one, but there's 4 canopies.
Oh, I see.
Different types.
And having to clean the underneath of them as well is a bit of a pain.
And yeah, you're just gonna be raining TFR on your face pretty much.
Yeah. You could.
But I haven't won that one yet, so.
What's this
Still
one?
waiting. That's the length of the conservatory roof panels.
Is the flat roofs either side?
Yes. So I am gonna work down.
Yeah.
As in,
And how are you going to clean that gutter in the middle? That's going to be a pain, isn't it?
yeah. Well, I've kind of come up with a plan, but not quite set in stone yet. I think.
Can you walk down the middle of that?
You can. They did say that they have done it, but I mean, the guy that said he had done it was about 5'5". So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing now. All the schools seem to have clamped down on their insurance and stuff. They won't let their caretakers go up on the roofs like they used to clear the gutters and stuff. So you might find that their insurance won't cover them going up there, but your insurance will probably cover you going up there.
Mm.
I
think that's the best option is the flat roof for that. The other canopy was definitely a tower job, I think. But yeah, and again, you're going to be moving it like 3 times, I think.
I mean, the alternative is it's a right faff, but you could unbolt them and just take them down and clean them on the floor. But that'll be a right pain in the arse to do.
Yeah, but yeah, again, that one hasn't come through yet. So
yeah. Let's check some questions. If you send them wrongly packed, i.e. over 10 kilogram boxes incorrectly labelled, they will just be binned. Ooh. Also, 0 proof of postage with Royal Mail.
wait, when you saying that?
Washi, a bit further up, he said 0 proof of postage when you do it with Royal Mail.
I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, all the companies that are local to me have 0 reviews and all look a bit sketchy. I know that with Royal Mail, they probably will go out more likely than anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you price school canopy cleans? I feel like with weird jobs like that, you've just got to really look at the time you think it's going to take you and whether the access is difficult or not and what some sort of chemicals you need to use. It's a difficult one, really. And to be honest, I would do a small test patch with hypo on those canopies rather than doing TFR.
Oh, really?
I think you get much better results, yeah.
See, I was on a job last week with someone called Jet Clean Pressure Wash, and he got a bit stuck. He's hurt his shoulder, so I went and helped him out. and that was the first time I'd used bleach on fascia boards, and it came up lovely without even scrubbing it. I literally just sprayed it on and then rinsed it off with the sniper nozzle after about 5 minutes, and yeah, absolutely amazing.
Really?
But I always got scared of using bleach on fascias.
Yeah, well, I suppose I tried it once. We done a roof scrape by our side, cleared the gutters out and all that sort of stuff, and then she asked us before we left, annoyingly, do you guys clean gutters and faces and stuff? And I thought it's only it's a bungalow, it's a small property. I'm gonna have a go at just using a bit of bleach in this corner here, and it went on great, and it did a perfect job. I rinsed it off, but then I looked down at the window, and she had those windows that had lead cross hatching on the glass, and it had all gone rusty. So the bleach had obviously like reacted with the lead.
I don't know if you watched the video.
I did.
Of me.
I did when you're doing the render, yeah.
That happened, but the customer was fine about it, and he also didn't want it fixed. But there was I can't remember where I found it, but one of the cleaning industry companies actually have a restorer for lead, which I never knew about.
You know what you can use, and what it probably is just hydrochloric acid.
Do you think?
Like brick acid,
Probably.
you can just spray it on, and it will change it back.
Because there's a petrol station about 5 minutes away from where I was. I went in there to look for some white vinegar because I had an inkling that might work, but they didn't have any.
Mm.
But he wasn't bothered because he didn't even know it was there, and neither did I. That bit doesn't look like lead.
Yeah, I saw.
And in a weird place as well.
That looked more like Pebble Dash than render. It was like a very bumpy render, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I did say this to him. I said it won't come up brilliant because it is that pebbly, horrible stuff.
Mm.
He wanted me to try and clean it, which I was more than happy to do.
Was it actually render, or was it painted Pebble Dash?
It was painted Pebble Dash.
Oh, right, okay.
But the back bit came up absolutely unbelievable. And I also, I don't know why, I always kind of put biocide on render after I finished it.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's good for the customer because they're going to get like prolonged results. But also, if you're using hypo on render, I guess you've got to make sure that you really, really rinse it off before you put the biocide on, because those two don't go well together, apparently. Andy says, I washed windows inside schools 10 years ago, and as far as I was led to believe, it was all tender work unless I was being told that to keep them from jumping on at that time. No, I've done lots of schools that aren't tender work. Generally, the work's tendered out from universities, or I think as a government-funded school, you're like same with councils as well. Councils have to tender work over a certain value legally. They have to get like a bunch of different quotes. Can you estimate how many days it's going to take you to complete the job and charge, let's say, 400 quid for a day's work? Yeah, you could do it like that. Do you know, have you got like a rough day rate that you would charge for something that you're not too sure how to price?
Not a calculated one.
Because I thought like an average day rate for most I suppose you can't call us labourers because we bring our own equipment and use our own fuel and tools and stuff like that, but most people's day rates are about 230 to 250 quid a day, like builders and stuff like that. But then I said that to Squeaky Clean Dave, and he was like, no, if you're bringing all your equipment and your van and the wear and tear on your machine and you're pressure washing with your own stuff and you're using your own fuel all day, like you want to be at around about 400 quid a day, really.
Yeah, see, I'm always... Do you know, like when you get to a job and you feel like I'm going to be here all day and I've undercharged it?
Yeah.
That's a feeling I hate. So I always think of a price and then times it by 1.5 If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. That's normally how I. So if it's a roof clean and it's one side, because I own all my equipment, I'd probably be about 500 quid.
Mhm.
And then, so if it's something like, I don't know, really, I've never really done day rate.
Yeah, normally I don't like it.
No, it's just not something I can comfortably say I've priced right.
Have you got your own
'Cause I
tower?
feel like- yeah. So that was basically my whole thing of setting up. I bought everything before I paid myself. So I only started paying myself about 6 months ago, after a year.
And you've got all the best stuff as well. I've seen your setup. You've got the roof cleaning pole. You've got a really nice tower. You've got a really nice van mounted machine. You've got proper hose reels, all that sort of stuff. Like, you haven't skimped out on anything. You've gone all in, haven't you?
Yeah, to me, I like getting somewhere and having all the good stuff and the stuff that I know that can do the job and I can rely on. Do you know what I mean? So, like my first machine, I don't. As soon as I bought it and did one job with it, and then watched videos of the other machines, I knew that I need to get that one as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And then I'm happy with it, and then that's that done, because I bought a few things cheap and I will never do it again. So
I did the same.
because they break.
I reckon
And it's just not worth it.
I probably spent the first 6 months buying stuff cheap as I possibly could. Actually, probably the first 12 months, and trying to cut corners and trying to do things my way. Just thinking, oh, no one else has thought of this. Like, I'm onto something here. And I realised, actually, this industry has been around for probably over 40, 50 years. There's people that have been doing this job for over like 30, 40 years. And all the tricks of the trade have been figured out and passed around. And I'm coming into this industry very, very late. And so just get the right equipment first time, because people are recommending all that equipment on Facebook and stuff, because that's the stuff that works. Or because they're in a cult, one or the other.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I like. The reason why I wanted to do it is because I always had this thing about debt, which now I'm completely the other way. I had this thing of that I don't want to take out a loan because I hate the feeling of knowing I have to pay it back. And if I break my leg tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to earn that back. Do you know what I mean? I always had that kind of attitude. But now I think if I could go back, I would probably do it differently. The reason why I say that is because it took a lot of stress on my life not paying myself. I was basically living off about 50 quid a week, which isn't anything. You can't even buy coffee a day for that. If you buy a coffee every single day, you'd be left with like 20 quid.
Yeah. So I was like exactly the same with regards to debt. I don't want to start a business and then already be in debt by the time I'm on week one. You know what I mean? And I've got a mortgage, I've got kids, I've got a family. And so my thought process was like, if I'm going to start this now, it needs to bloody work, because if it doesn't, and the one thing I had control over was trying to save, trying to pay off as much as I could, so I've got less direct debits going out. No more Netflix, no more Amazon Prime, all that sort of stuff went. I reduced my phone bill, and I thought, why would I go and get something on finance now? Because that's all that hard work just gone. So even though it's got you into this position, you would have done it differently.
I'd do a few things differently, definitely.
You think you'd have been as successful? I imagine you're still paying. Imagine you've got the same amount of equipment right now, but what would the monthly outgoings be for if you had all your equipment on finance, for example?
Oh yeah, all of it, definitely. I wouldn't have done that. The only thing I would have done differently, I kind of thought about it for a second, is I wouldn't have bought the van cash, my new van.
Yeah.
Because that has shot me in the foot a little bit over the past few months after I bought it. Because I was at a low... Do you know, like, when you have to have a certain amount of money in your bank account, otherwise you feel like you're on edge?
Yep.
It was like that for a little period, and I thought that, oh my God, I'm scraping it. I'm just about making it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing, because it puts a bit more pressure on yourself, because then you're not... I've really got to get busy. Do you know what I mean? I've got to earn that money back quick time.
Yeah. I also then spoke to my accountant a couple of months later, and I said, like, I've got this much money, and I need to get a van, and I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, do I buy everything outright and be left with this much money to run my business, or do I look at finance and stuff? And he said, if you're earning money and things are going well, use someone else's money where you can. He's like, for cash flow reasons, you want to keep all your liquid cash for yourself.
Available.
Yeah, available for like a rainy day. And if you can use other people's money, if you've already proved that you can earn, which I did, I was 12 months down the line, and I was running quite a successful business. And he's like, why would you use your own money when you can use someone else's? Even if it costs you that extra little bit in interest, it means your cash flow is going to be great. And so he also said, like, business debt, you've got to look at business debt as a different thing to personal debt.
See, I think that if I was to take someone on, I would definitely finance a van and use that money that I'd spend on the van on, what's that company called? Kingdom Canvassing.
Who?
If I had to start again tomorrow, do you know Kingdom Canvassing, the people that go out and canvass window cleaning customers for you?
Oh, no.
You pay them pounds.
Kingdom Canvassing.
Yeah. So if you wanted a £2,000 a month round, so you wanted £2,000 a month consistently forever, you'd pay them 4.5 times that. Yeah, those guys. They are expensive, but they are very well known.
So is this not just... Oh, I see what you mean. So they'll actually knock doors and talk to people to try and sell your service.
Yeah.
They're not just posting leaflets.
No, so it's a quick turnaround as well.
That's a really good idea for a business, isn't it?
It is, but I feel like it's you've got to have a lot of people that know how to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have the right staff, haven't you? If you don't mind me asking, Liam, how do you pay for the expensive equipment still being in the first year? Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. You must be very busy to be able to take a wage and still fund your equipment.
So I was at a farm beforehand, and I left there in 2023. I started there in 2019, and I basically saved about £12,000, and I spent all of it at the start. No, not all of it at the start, but I spent a Peugeot partner for £5,000, which I've never known a Peugeot partner go for £5,000. Yeah, and just other random bits.
Do you mean you're overpaid?
Oh yeah,
yeah, right.
On a
Yeah.
Peugeot partner, yeah.
I was just making sure I got what you meant then. Yeah.
It done like 110,000 miles, and I paid £5,000 for it.
I think I paid $3,000 for mine, and I thought that was expensive.
Yeah, but it did do a good job, and I was sad to see it go, to be honest. But yeah, like, I just basically spent all of the money because I had an idea that I thought was going to work, and I thought it was a great investment because I was 19 when I started this, and I just turned 20. I was 20 in March 2023, so I'm now 21. So that was when I started. About
Did
2
you
months
forget
after.
how old you was then?
yeah. So yeah, and then I basically, do you know like when you still have no idea about what you want to do and what you're going to do? So I basically thought, if it doesn't work, whatever, I've just lost a bit of money, but nothing else I have to worry about or pay for. And then it started to kind of work, and then I kind of started too late in that year. I started, really pushing jobs in August, and I thought, oh wow, this is actually quite busy. And then as soon as it hit November till February last year were terrible. I honestly think I made about £500 a month, but I was still working at the farm at the same time, trying to keep up and things.
I was just going to say, what did you do for your first winter? Because that's when it shocked me as well. My first winter, thinking I can just do pressure washing, and then end of August, September, nothing. It's like, whoa, that's a culture shock. But I think that's when I started offering gutter clearing. But again, I was too late advertising the gutter clearing because I didn't expect it to just drop off a cliff like that.
Yeah. What would you say your reoccurring customer rate is? If you had a random idea, would you say that you've been to the same customer's house twice, 50% of the time, or a lot less?
As opposed to new customers.
Yeah. So, say your first year in business, you went to someone's to clear gutters. Have you been back since? And how often does that really happen?
Yes, to clear gutters. Yeah. They normally get in touch every 12 months. I'd say because I'm not chasing anyone, I don't put texts or emails or anything out. All of my marketing is organic. I just do Facebook posts. I don't pay for any advertising whatsoever. It all just sort of comes in, and I sort of trust the process now. I could be doing more, definitely, but I'll wait for people to contact me. It's bad, even with biocide maintenance plans and stuff. I'll say, contact me in about 6 to 12 months' time, and we'll come back and put some more biocide down. And quite often they do, but I could be chasing more. I reckon I'd say around 40% of my customers for gutter clearing have come back the next year.
That's quite good. That's quite good.
Yeah,
considering you're not trying to push it.
Yeah, but I try with like a new customer. I try and build a bit of a rapport and like really do a good job. Show them pictures, show that they can really trust me. Give them a good price, and then there's no reason for them not to come back to me next year. Why would they look for anyone else if they've already found someone that? And I always say before I leave, like, is there anything else you need me to do before I go? Because do you need me to move the bins back or like close the gate or anything? And I feel like as long as you do that, there's no reason why they wouldn't come back to you. But I think my biggest one is I've done one service and then they come to me later on saying, oh, do you do this as well? Do you do roofs? Do you do patios? Do you clean windows? Do you clean conservatories? All that sort of stuff. It's the same customers that are coming back, or they're saying, oh, my daughter recommended you. I think that's most of my work is either word of mouth, people recommended me, or people see me on Facebook, really. Why? What do you think? What's yours? I suppose you haven't been doing it long enough to have it reoccurring yet, have you?
No, but it's been quite good this year. I've been back, I'd say, about 5 different places to do gutters, and I didn't really do that many last year, so it's been quite good. The only reason I really ask, hang on, I had a thought then it just completely gone from me.
No, that's all right. It's if I was doing what you're doing and taking down their information, like I showed you that form earlier, but to be honest, I keep forgetting to send it to people when I take the booking. But if I was doing this sort of stuff religiously and I just had everyone's phone numbers and which services they had last year, and I could just send a mass text out, I bet I'd get so much work. Like if I was in a dry spot and I just wanted to just send out a mass text or an email, I bet I would get so much work come back in that I could probably fill up, the next month's worth of days. But I'm just I'm not proactive enough to do that sort of stuff at the moment because I'm so busy with everything else I'm trying to do. I feel a little bit at the minute like a bit of a busy fool. I'm constantly doing stuff and rushing and filling my time. I just don't know whether I'm filling it with the right stuff.
I know what you mean. This is why I with my YouTube videos, I won't post a video if I don't think it's worthy. So there, I've tried to put out 2 videos in the last 2 weeks and not one of them's gone out. The last video I did was, I can't even remember now. I did a week in the life. I filmed every job in a week and I haven't posted it. The reason why is because I just don't feel like I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch me clean fascia boards. Do you know what I mean? And there was 2 days of it in there and things like this. So if YouTube for me is a hobby. I'll do it if I want to show something amazing like these roofs that I've been doing today and things. Other than that, I get fed up editing because I feel like I'm just too busy with it.
Yeah, I get it with gutter clearing. Like I like the idea of like a really good gutter clearing video, but it's just not. I don't think it's fun to watch. And when I'm editing it, I'm thinking people ain't going to enjoy this. So I try and cut out as much as the fat as I possibly can, and stick another job in there at the end so that people like don't feel like they're wasting their time. I don't know. Yeah, I'm similar to you in that sense.
Yeah, I don't know. In the winter, it was the same last year. The only video that I actually posted in the winter last year was how to set up a window cleaning business. Because I didn't have any other jobs going on at all or anything like that. Yeah, my last job was what to do in winter months if you've got no work. And that was just to get a video out, if I'm being dead honest. I just tried to get a video out because I wanted to try and be consistent upon week. But because I still haven't hit any. Do you know, like when you get the YouTube studio goals and it says you need to get 3,000 watch hours and short views and things? I've hit none of them. The only thing I've hit is the 500 subscribers.
I think I did it in a month. Like my YouTube was crap for about 9 months, I reckon. And then in December, I had like a couple of shorts that went really well. And so that drew loads of viewers, loads of subscribers, loads of people watching my new videos and stuff. And then within a month, it was like I'd reached all the goals. It was crazy.
Yeah. I just kind of, if I post a short, it feels like it's got to go on TikTok. I forget about Instagram Reels. I forget about YouTube Shorts and things. But
yeah,
TikTok gets me 0 customers. It's just about how things can explode. But I feel like YouTube Shorts is the same, really. But I just never really use it.
Yeah. I don't think you should start another window cleaning round. I think you should carry on doing what you're doing.
You think?
Well,
I think you're right.
Clearly working. You can get work when you want to get work.
Yeah.
And do you really want to be cleaning windows again?
I don't personally know, but I feel like there's always if you can cover a staff member's wages and give them consistent work and spare 2 days a week where they can be with you and you can plan big jobs on those days. I feel like that will probably settle the nerves rather than knowing that if it gets to, I don't know, sometime in the future and I've got no work, but it's a Friday afternoon, I've got no work booked for the next week or anything like that. What do you do? Do you just tell them to have a week off when you go out and canvas again? Or do you have a refresh to say, look, mate, have a week off?
Are you asking me what I do?
Yeah. Right. What would you do if you and Jakey all of a sudden?
We've had it. We've had it recently where I forgot what it was. I think that period where everyone went quiet for like 3 weeks. There was 1 week in that period that we just had literally no work booked in, and I've promised him a 30-hour-a-week contract, and I said even if we don't hit 30 hours a week, or minimum 30 hours a week contract, even if we don't hit it, I'm still paying you for 30 hours a week, so sort of don't worry. Even if we get quiet over the winter, I've got enough. I've got enough in the account to be able to pay us both for like a decent period of time. So I'm in a fortunate position now where I'm not worrying about it too much. It would be nice to keep him busy and get him out doing something, like you say, like canvassing. If I can print maybe a couple of thousand leaflets and just on when I've got no work for him, because when we've got no work on, if there's any day that I've got no work on, I can be sat in front of my computer making hundreds of pounds by chasing leads, doing quotes, organising the calendar, figuring out some sponsored stuff, sending some invoices that I forgot to send. There's always, like, making a YouTube video, whatever it might be. Like, there's always stuff for me to do, but there's only a limited amount of stuff that Jakey can do while he's not got a van. And so,
do you think that if you employ someone else, you'd employ a PA or another worker? As in PA, you'd get them to edit your YouTube videos, you get them to answer quotes, calls, things like that.
I'm very I think a lot of people are like this, but many of them probably won't admit it. I think only I can do what I do.
I agree. I know what you mean, yeah.
And that's not being big-headed, someone else could do something similar, but they're not going to do it like the way I do things. And I don't know how much it would alleviate me to have like a PA. Before my sister started her business, I was considering taking my sister on to deal with all the inquiries, go out and do the quotes. Like I'd train her up to go out and do quotes for me, manage all the emails, edit my YouTube videos. But I just don't think, I don't know if it'll be as effective as me doing it.
I agree. No, I do agree. The only reason why I asked that is because you and Jakey seem to have a great like working relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only reason, just out of curiosity.
It's
because
I've landed on my feet with Jakey. Like I can't believe I've found him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Isn't he your friend's son or something?
My friend's brother, younger brother. But like,
Right.
I couldn't have found anyone better, I don't think. But the goal, the goal is, I think, to send him when he gets to the point where I can confidently just send him out on his own, and we've figured out the van and the insurance and all that sort of stuff. I'd like for him to have a labourer with him that he can train, and then that way he's not losing me and taking twice as long to do all the jobs again, like I did. He's still being just as productive as we have been because he's got two. There's two of him. And he could quite easily, like today, I was spending quite a lot of time on my phone today because I had so much crap I have to try and deal with. It was winding me up today big time. So all that time I was on my phone. He was just cracking on. He's just doing it. Packing stuff in and out of the van, cracking on with the faces and soffits, clearing the gutters. Like, he just does it. I don't need to ask him. He just knows what to do. And so I'm confident.
Yeah, I had someone working with me that was on their phone. At any point, there was no initiative used at all. And if I was on my phone or having a break or something, it would be like a signal to him to have a break as well.
Yeah.
When do you know what I mean? Like when the gutter vac's on, he's literally doing that with the gutter vac and cleaning out gutters, and he turns around, sees me on his phone, he'll turn the gutter vac off and go on his phone. And I was like, mate, what are you doing? And it was just that. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that someone you knew? Was that a friend or something?
Yeah, it's one of my friends. Yeah. I did tell him as well. I literally said, mate, you're not my mate when we work together. You have to do the work. The reason why you're here is not just because I'm feeling nice and generous.
Yeah.
You have to actually work.
Yeah.
And if I need to leave you somewhere, how do I know you're not just going to sit there in the customer's block paving step or whatever and just sit on your phone?
Yeah.
He's not with me anymore.
I'm not surprised. I'd hate that.
Yeah.
That would make me fuming. That would.
I hate laziness.
Yeah.
I hate outworking someone. So I need to find someone that will push me as well. Do you know what I mean? Which I feel like is really hard.
Yeah. He would end up fighting with him in the van. What are you talking about, Jakey? My winter work has kicked in. Gritting is good money. Serious? How often? I mean, where are you from, first of all? Are you gritting in the UK? Like, I think there's only... Like, how regular would gritting work be? Because I was thinking about advertising for gritting. I actually did advertise it on my website for a while, but I don't know if it's... Oh, you're in Surrey. I was thinking like commercial jobs, like car parks and schools and all that sort of stuff, but I feel like also it'd be like last minute call outs where you've got to drive out in the middle of the night, get everything gritted ready for the morning. I've done four nights. Yeah, because the car park's got to be clear before you can grit it, all that sort of stuff. It'd be like, surely it's night shifts and stuff.
I had a bit of an incident recently with a night quote. Morrison's had something stupid amount of guys, and they only wanted me to work at night, and I had to hire a cherry picker, all sorts. And apparently the person who won the quote went in for something like $1,500, and I quoted like 4 times that because me and someone else with tendering gardening services who does similar stuff to me, we were going to jump on it together, and we said we'd be there probably two full nights. And do you know, like the lights as well, you have to hire along the side of the road.
Mm.
We needed to get those as well. And I was literally sat there thinking, who on earth has quoted that much money? They're probably not even making any money.
Like, well, first of all, the hire of the equipment and stuff is got to be a few £100.
Yeah. I mean, a cherry picker. I looked at one the other day. I think it was £210 at the local company per day.
Yeah.
And then if you say that's 2 days, so that's 420.
Plus
and then let's say
the lights, generator probably.
Yeah, and then I don't know how much they are. I've got to say there's some quite a lot. So let's say that let's round it up to probably 700. Because you want one of them boom ones, don't you, that can go up quite high? Because Morrison's is, I think it's 3-story. And yeah, so we basically worked out that they probably do £300 for 2 nights, and that's night shift as well. That's you're disrupting your life and your sleep and everything else.
£150 a night based on one person doing it.
Yeah,
that's just weird, isn't it?
It's
what some people do.
I honestly don't understand it because you're not making any money. It just rattles me with things like that.
I wonder if they did it. Like, I'm keen to chase up these jobs afterwards and like, how'd you get on? Like, did they do a good job, sort of thing? Someone, I've still got to quote this guy. God, I keep forgetting stuff. This is frustrating now. Went out to quote a driveway the other day and a roof, and I'd been there before. I was like, you asked me for a quote about a year ago. He's like, I know. I went for the cheapest one. And 3 guys turned up. And they were Irish. And they were here all day. And they plastered everything in muck. They did a terrible job. Didn't really clean up after themselves. And they didn't, it was like a permeable block paving. They didn't brush any grit back into the block paving and stuff. And he said, I regret it. He said, I should have got you to do it. I want you to do it this time. Hopefully you haven't doubled your prices since last year. It was like, and he asked me to clean his roof as well. But you really do get what you pay for in this industry, I think.
Except for window cleaning.
Why did you say that?
I feel like everyone. This was my trouble when I used to be window clean. Right, every customer at window cleaning seems to go for the cheapest price, no matter who it is. If I went at £25 and I could go there and have a chat with a customer, and tell them exactly what I'm going to do, tell them I could show them. I could literally do a test patch on their window and say, right, go inside and look out. And someone went £1 cheaper than me, I genuinely believe that they go with £1 cheaper.
Yeah, it's another one of them. Like I said in the video, that was a bit controversial. It's a bit of a thankless service because everyone thinks anyone can do it. But actually, when you talk to these customers, most of them aren't happy with their window cleaner because they're either leaving spots on the windows, they're missing bits, they never turn up. Like, there's always an issue with the window cleaner.
Yeah. I genuinely think if I went back into it, my minimum price would be £25.
Really?
No matter what house. Yeah, because if the access, normally, right, a perfect house is you've got an alleyway that's at the front that you can access, not around the side or anything, and you can just pull your hose out and clean it. And then you get the ones that, you have to put your, when I first started doing it, I literally got every job. I accepted every job. If I had to go through the house, I had to go through the house. That was it. And I would bring my hose through the house and things like that. But now it's just not worth it. Like, I think if I had a window cleaning day tomorrow and I said, right, I'm going to get £18 for this, but I've got to do all of this and my hose was going to get tangled, it's going to get caught and everything, I generally don't think I'd even want to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For no matter what money. I think it frustrates me more than anything.
Yeah. You think, I could be pressure washing a drive and just earning. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I hate the whole hustle. Do you know what I mean? Like the hustle and bustle. Like, I have to get out, work quickly, do a lot in a day just to earn what I could earn in a couple of hours doing something else.
Yeah.
I generally think there's a lot more use to time than.
Yeah, again.
Other people will disagree.
It's like the busy fool mentality. Like, do you want millions of customers or do you want a couple of customers that pay really well? Like, I just don't see the point in having loads of customers that you earning 15-20 quid a pop off them, and you've just got to travel. I don't know. People know my people know my opinion about window cleaning. I agree
with you.
You've done 4 nights of 4 nights of gritting this week. That's crazy. I would struggle hiring anyone, as working with Steve, we both know what we should be doing and when, etc. It's good to work alongside another professional. Yep, true. Jakey would batter the other one just like he'd batter Smell in an arm wrestle. Are you grit early morning? Oh, okay. When lazy people do it properly, not realising the very laziness they are doing isn't bringing in the cash to actually pay them, just assume the business can pay me no matter what. Yeah, that's that's the mentality of people, because if their only job was like supermarket, stacking shelves, or I don't know, Pizza Hut or whatever happens, you're getting paid at the end of the month. As long as you don't do something ridiculous, you're still getting paid. Whereas it doesn't quite work like that when you're self-employed. If you don't do something, you ain't getting paid for it. How much can you charge for gritting, and what equipment / vehicle do you use? Yeah, that's a good question.
I looked at gritting once.
I wonder if you can hire one of them little trolleys that you push along that spin.
I don't know if this will work, but this is called a slug master, right? So this you fill up, and then it. Do you know, like, have you ever seen a fertilizer thing? This is like farming talk. But have you ever seen, like, on the back of a tractor, you get them fertilizer sprayers that will basically shoot out pellets really fast? This is what they are, but they are controlled by a battery unit that you can put in the car or van with you. And the capacity of it is actually really good. I don't know how much they are. They're £895. But I used to use one of these.
What would you put that on?
So this we used to use in the back of a Polaris, which I don't know if you've seen what they are. So it used to go on the back of one of these things.
Oh yeah.
And we literally used to it can go up to about 40 mile an hour, this thing. And we used to go about 20 mile an hour, and that thing would be in the back, and it'd probably last us one run of probably about 100 meters or so. I know it's not a lot, but if you're only gritting driveways and things, I understand that this is too much money to spend on, exterior cleaning. But if you're going to go fully into gritting,
oh yeah, I don't know if you can go fully into gritting.
Well, no, but if you're going to take on every single tender and contract and things like that comes in during winter, and that's when you're going to make most of your money, or if that's another side of your business that you're only going to do in winter.
Yeah. Do you think you can take on too many services? Because I do.
Yeah. I no longer offer solar panel cleaning.
Really?
No. I hate it.
That is
to be honest.
Interesting. Tell me more.
I just don't like it. I just feel like I'm just there for too long. How much do you charge for a solar panel?
£17 per panel.
Oh, this is probably why then.
Because I just don't want to do it for any less, because it's just it is a nasty job, especially when they're covered in lichen and bird crap. You sat there for ages scrubbing, but I found a technique now where I'm quite happy charging a bit less, because I found that if you get a nylon scraper, wet the panels first, get everything soft, have one of you, like again, having two people, one of you scraping the chunky bits and the other one washing the panel with the brush, the water fed pole. And now that I've got that pure water resin tank as well, I could probably get through them a lot quicker. But again, it's access. You need either a tower or a roof ladder or harness, or to do it properly, safely, consistently. It's an expensive job. It's not like cleaning windows. People think, oh, it's just the same as cleaning a window, but it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah, see, I was about £8 a panel, which I think is probably why I don't do it anymore. If you say £17, that probably sounds about right, to be honest. I'm
really expensive compared to a lot of people. I think the going rate is around about £10 per panel.
Have you seen those like powered brushes? I think Squeaky Clean Dave did a video on one.
Yeah.
Have you ever used one?
No, I think they're a gimmick. I don't think they work.
Oh, really? I was going to say, because surely they just don't agitate enough. Do you know what I mean?
I think they're probably too soft. They're heavy. You've still got to do just as much as this, but the difference is you actually also got your pressure washer running, so you're using fuel, and it's probably a much more of a pain to set up. and you can't use pure water with it because you're running it through. I suppose you could use pure water through the pressure washer, but you wouldn't, would you?
No. Just a waste, isn't it, money?
It just seems like a waste, yeah. I did see something that was a battery pack that you put over your shoulders, and it's like a normal window cleaning brush on a water-fed pole. So it's got 2 spray nozzles that spray like pure water. So that's a totally separate system, but it comes down the same pole. But you've also got a cable running from the top into this backpack that rotates the head. So you've got a brush on the end that's rotating, and it's also spraying pure water on the panels. So that seems better because you can spray what you need to get the panel wet, turn the water off, and carry on just like brushing. I
know what you mean. Again, it just seems like such an investment for solar panels, which I'd probably get 1 lead every couple of months.
Yeah, and you hope that it's a big job, and you hope that it's like, I mean, what's 15 panels at 17 quid? That was the biggest one I've done in terms of price, I think, this year. So 255 quid. And I was probably there for like 2 hours. And it was very hard work. It just didn't seem worth it, really, when I could do the same. I could do a driveway. I don't know. Maybe it is worth it. I don't know. Maybe I'm...
Yeah, mate, I think your pricing is definitely right. Mine was just wrong. I think that's probably... I mean, like I say, I don't offer it. If I quote it, I just quote it. Well, I just...
High, so you don't get
really
it.
Get a lead.
Yeah. I very rarely get solar panel leads. To be honest, I don't think I've had any solar panel leads. I think all of my solar panel cleans have been upsells from other jobs that I've done, like gutters and stuff.
I've got an interesting job to talk about.
All right.
So, me and my girlfriend's dad, well, he has a friend who wants the bird netting around solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever experienced doing it?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Well, my friend Callum, who lives in Redditch, that's his full-time job.
Oh, really?
So if you need him to do it, he'll come out. He'll go anywhere in the country and do it. Yeah.
See, this is the thing. They want their roof cleaned before.
Mm-hmm.
This to go on. But the only issue is you can't get a cherry picker around there. You have to, no matter what you do, you have to go up the front of the house, over the roof, and down the other side. So it's either you use about 4 roof ladders, or you do a cherry picker, which you can't get off the platform without a roof ladder either way.
What sort of pitch is it?
If you had to times by something, you times by 1.4.
So he's Spider-Man, basically. He'll put a roof ladder up there, and then he hangs on the corner of the solar panels. The solar panels have got clips, and he'll put his feet and his hands inside these clips, and that's how if it's like quite a steep pitch, it's amazing to watch. And he's quite a small lad as well, so he's up and down within minutes.
Just no fear.
No fear at all. And he's done all his like rope access training, all that sort of stuff, and he's just. Yeah.
This is the thing, yeah. I went there last Friday. Not as in 3 days ago, as in a week Friday. And I basically said I can't send you a quote yet because I don't know what it's going to cost. I'm still kind of thinking about it. The only reason why I haven't sent it off is because I know I have a roofer who basically is my go-to guy. If anyone's got any roofing issues, I always give out his business card. He's been on holiday and he came back a few days ago, and I still need to speak to him about it.
Are you scraping or pressure washing?
Pressure wash, yeah. Because basically there's been doves that have been all underneath it, and there is feathers everywhere, and it's covered in lichen, it's covered in moss, and it just generally makes the job a bit easier with this whole bird netting thing.
Just be careful with if birds have been nesting under the panels as well, they can compromise some of the cables, and if you're
Water.
pressure washing under them and stuff, it can be a bit dodgy. You'd have to speak to Callum. He's in the Discord.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I think I've seen. Is it Solar something?
Solar Secure.
Solar Secure.
But he's got I think he's got like a Russian name or something.
Solarsecure.com.
.uk.
Oh, that's in Australia.
Solar Secure UK.
How much did he charge roughly? Because I know this guy had a quote of about 700 quid.
I think he's minimum about 500.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like the same price nationwide, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Got a difficult job.
This is Callum. I don't know if you can see on stream. He's in the Discord. You can just send him.
Really?
Send him a message.
I've just seen his Instagram.
He's brilliant.
I could find on Google.
But he'll help you out with all sorts as well. They've started doing mortar repairs on ridges. They've started doing gutter fascia replacements. He's a bit of an everyman. He does a bit of everything when it comes to roofs and stuff. So.
Quite handy to know, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
I always wish I had a friend that was either a mechanic or a barber.
Yeah. But I also don't want to be that guy that asks for cheap work. I'd rather pay a friend more money than I'd pay some random person to do the same job.
Yeah. It's not about the money, it's just about the ease.
Yeah.
Do you know mechanics aren't open on a Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Most of my issues are mostly on a Friday. And it's just little things. And a barber as well, it's just like, if you message them saying, look, Tuesday night, can I have a haircut? It's like 7 o'clock at night. The shop's closed. You can just go around your mates for a haircut and just, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just always been one thing I've always wanted.
Yeah. How's your van?
Brings me to tears.
Darren, shut up. I will. That's not a lie. Sorry. You got crashed into, didn't you?
Yeah, so the story is, I've got proof of this story. These two lads from Ireland were going around knocking doors all day selling roof cleaning. These are the kind of people that will do a square in the middle of your driveway and tell you £1,000 to clean it. They've been doing that, and they went on one of my old window cleaning customers' houses, funny enough, they knocked on, and she was quite wary, and they kept looking at her dogs, and they were hanging around outside her house. Anyway, there's Ring doorbell footage for all this. They drive off, and they come basically round the corner, and then come down the farm road. Now, my container's where I used to work, right? And there's this, I wouldn't say dodgy corner, it's just a corner, on a one-way road. I'm coming down there, I've gone past this corner, and these lot are coming down this road about 40 miles an hour, and meanwhile I'm going about 20, and they just haven't stopped. Do you know, like when it all happens in slow-mo? It's like he just didn't react, he didn't put his foot on his brake, nothing. Yeah. And he's literally just crashed into me. And then he's reversed out of me, and then put down his window and said, sorry mate, ain't got brakes, and just drove off. But about 2 minutes before this, the farm that I used to work at's owner's mum was on a horse, and they've gone past her shouting and screaming and beeping their horn, and the horse has reared up a little bit. So I've got a semi-witness to how this is bad driving, or whatever you want to call it, dangerous driving. But they could have killed her. I called the police, and I still haven't heard anything. And now I actually put a claim in my insurance, but I'm going to have to withdraw that because otherwise it affects me hugely. But
what's wrong with people?
This is the thing, but the thing is, if they go out and kill some child or kill someone by running them over, stupid, dangerous driving, do you know, like when you feel like you could have done something? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't.
But honestly,
I mean, trying to get the police to do anything these days is just.
They were more bothered about me rating their customer service. I've literally got a message on my phone which I'm using, and it says, "How would you rate your police experience?" Or something.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So, has your van took much damage? Is it like it's not written off?
It's just got a nasty scratch and dents all down one side, and it's going to cost me about 600 quid to get it repaired. I'm more willing to pay the extra and get it wrapped fully.
That's a good idea. Good opportunity to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, Because either way, I need to get it sign written. So either way, I'm going to pay 600 quid or whatever to get it repaired, and then pay to get it sign written. You know, the casual stuff, or I just pay, you know, a bit more and just have it fully wrapped, which means that if I'm driving down the road, someone's going to go, "Oh, what's that van say?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that's wearing at the back of my mind as well. But I'll wait till after Christmas, I think.
Sorry, I've just had a donation. Gaz, thank you so much. Alrighty, mate, new here. I'm not into the business or have no intention to join, but I just want to support you. I've watched loads of your videos and find them weirdly therapeutic. Keep up the good work. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. What a wonderful man.
Might pay for Jakey's lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, I rang a lady about a roof clean today that came in, and she said I had these my husband had these Irish men turn up at the door, and they've done a test patch right in the middle of the roof, and it's really annoying me now. And did I already say this story?
No.
They've done a test patch right in the middle of the roof and quoted a unreasonable amount of money to get the roof clean done. And she was asleep upstairs, and her husband sort of let them. And now she's fuming about it, and so she wants someone to come and do it properly. But she didn't want to get them to do it because she's angry at them. That's no way to win work, is just going around knocking doors and just forcing test patches on people.
Definitely not. This has happened once to me. It happened with someone's driveway, and they literally did a square in the middle. And this square was like 2x2. And I remember I turned up to the job, and do you know, like when they don't tell you things before you get to the job, you're like, "Oh, can I have a quote for the driveway clean?" Yeah, I'll come round, whatever this time. I went round there, and then he comes out and as a chat, and he's like, "Yeah, well, basically the reason I wanted to get you out is because of these people who turned up and did a square on my driveway, whatever." And they also, their van was leaking oil, and they leaked oil on the driveway. So I was feeling generous, and I did it, I think, for about £3 a square metre, and it's block paving, including sand and things. Because I genuinely felt bad, because this guy just had a knee operation and things, so he literally couldn't walk. And yeah, it just looked awful, because their driveway was in a crap state. Like, do you know, like when you get them weeds that are like that thick?
Yeah. I don't understand the business model of going round, overcharging someone, doing a bad job, and the customer having a terrible experience just so you can get that quick cash. Because that's not the way to run a business. Like, that person is never going to call you back. So what's the point?
They just go all around, and they go everywhere. They'll be where you are tomorrow, and they'll be where I am the next day.
But it's easier to do what we're doing and just do a proper job.
It makes zero sense. You're completely right. But it's just what they do. I don't know why they do it, but it just happens. But it's just stupid. And the worst thing is, as well, is I'm worried now that these people knocking on these people's doors, scaring people, asking if they want a test patch, is going to have a knock-on effect. Of people being wary.
It's always, you know what I mean? It's always been a thing. It's nothing new.
Yeah, but I know. Just a bit frustrating, that's all.
Yeah.
Everything kind of got to me that night, and I just honestly just. Do you know when you have them nights where you just wonder if it's all worth it, and whether you should have nice things, and whether you should just, is it even worth all the stress and things? Do you get nights like that? Yeah,
and those pushing through those times are what separates the people that fail, essentially. I suppose everyone fails, and it's good to fail, but the people that carry on after like severe failure or severe bad thoughts and rough times, it's very easy to take there's so many knocks in this industry. When you take a huge knock and you think, God, is this like really worth it? So I just go back to the 9 to 5 and just go and work at Aldi again. Like, it's so much easier. But if you did that, you'd just be like everyone else.
Yeah. And it's definitely the pros outweigh the cons massively, if you think about it. It's just like that. Do you know, like before you go to bed, and it's all you can think about is one thing, and you wake up the next day and it's all completely gone. Like, I remember when I was a bit younger, I always used to wake up in the morning and be like, right, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you wake up and you don't do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? it genuinely feels like that. It feels like I've just had a negative night instead of a positive one.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up the next day and I feel even better than ever. You know what I mean?
Do you drink?
No, I do. I do drink, but I don't drink. Like I won't have a beer at night, or I haven't had a drink since probably last month. The next time I'll drink is probably Christmas.
My issue is that that's what causes me to have those nights. Is like when I'm feeling super anxious, everything's getting on top of me. Like I feel like I feel like I can't handle everything that's being chucked at me. And then when I've got like a bit of clarity, when I haven't drunk for like 3 or 4 evenings in a row, I'm just level and neutral. I'm not like overstimulated. I'm not feeling down or depressed or anything. I'm just handling shit. And I know that's what I need to do, but it's just difficult just to cut it out. If I didn't drink, I would be so much further ahead than I am now. It's crazy.
I do drink, but I don't drink very often.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've noticed as well, right, is yesterday we went. I'm an Ipswich fan. I've got a season ticket holder and things. All my friends were drinking on a Sunday night. Yesterday, we had a 4:30 kickoff, and they went out at 11:30, and they all went to Wetherspoons, and they'd been there all afternoon. They were all battered by the time I even got there. And they were like, "Come on, have a beer," and I was like, "Mate, I've got 3 roof cleans day after day after day. The last thing I want to do is, because one beer will generally probably make you feel a bit tipsy. I haven't had a beer for that long, and I was just like, it's not even like worth it at all.
Yeah.
Because it just makes, I don't know, it just has such a knock-on effect for the whole week. On a Sunday is like the one day that I'll try not to do anything majorly physical because it just ruins me.
My issue is that I associate beer with relaxing, thinking I've had a hard day at work. Now I can enjoy my evening and calm down a little bit. But then the loop is that the next day I feel anxious and impatient, short-tempered, grumpy. And then I have another stressful day, and then it gets to the evening again. I think, I've had a bad day. I need to relax, and then it's just like a cycle. It's terrible. I know what the problem is. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to kind of meet new people as well. I'm trying to, do you know, like they always say that you're the best of the average 5 people you spend the most time with, or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't know. My friends. I didn't think it was the best. I thought it was the average, like the average of the 5 people. You're like the amalgamation of all the 5 people you spend more time with.
Yeah, and all my friends go out, speak to women at weekends. That's literally all they do. They live for the weekend, and I haven't gone out with them for ages. And now, do you know, like the average, I'm trying to just meet people that are similar minded. Do you know what I mean? That I can actually like go and play golf with or something like that, or do this. But it's quite hard because everyone, like I tried to do one of the BNI things. I went there for a little period of time. I never paid for it. I just did a few trial runs, and they're all like 50, 60, 40. Like they're not going to be your friends outside of that room.
Yeah.
Realistically. They might speak to you every now and again, but they're not going to be your friends outside of that room. And yeah, I just find it quite difficult because all my friends are like my age. They're all like 21 and stuff, and they're all trying to, go out.
From what I've heard on podcasts and stuff, they say you should aspire to form relationships with people that you aspire to be like. And if you're,
what does that just mean a business owner that's done well for themselves, or does that mean someone like you or like Sid or something that's done really well in the industry?
I suppose it doesn't even need to be anything to do with money or business. It could be that you want to be as kind as this person, or as generous as this person, or as genuine. But yeah, it also does go into like if you associate with people that are doing well, then it's gonna rub off on you eventually. But it's also got to be people that you like, because if you're just associating with rich people and they're all arseholes, then it's pointless.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Me and my friend, he studies business advisory, so he does that. He's not quite finished it yet. We were going to start a podcast, and basically he's a year older than me, so we were going to basically invite people on from all around the country of similar age to us and just have a general chat about life. But we haven't got around to it yet. But I think it's going to be quite a hard market to find people that do that. I'd say people under 25 that aspire to be or do things. There's people I know from school that have written a book and things, but it's not done well.
Yeah.
But I just want to, do you know what I mean? Just want to, I don't know. It's not really found its feet yet. It was just an idea.
Well, this comment made me laugh. Liam talking about when he was younger, and I have pants older than him.
Who said that?
Darren XTX. Which I thought was funny. You are very young. You seem to be doing a hell of a lot. Like, I feel like, honestly, I didn't know. I thought we were roughly the same age. I'm 32.
Everyone says, how old are you? And they go, I guess you're 28 or something like that.
Yeah, you seem to have like an older head on your shoulders.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Elon, Bezos, Gates. I guess they're all my new friends if I want $1 billion or $5. Yeah.
But the thing is, though, if you had spent a year with Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all of them people, I guarantee you'd be a millionaire by the end of the year, or close to it.
You reckon?
If you spent every day for 365 days with those people in the same room, you'll be on your way, or you'd have £1 million.
Yeah, but also life isn't all about money, so it's like what?
Well, no,
because I get like this sometimes where like, what am I doing this for? Am I doing this to try and be rich, or am I doing it to have more freedom, or am I doing it to have a more comfortable life for my family? Like, what am I sacrificing now to get to a goal where I'm not sure if the goal is correct yet? You know, I'm sure. I don't know. You're just old, Smout. Okay, thanks. I'll beat you in an arm wrestle. I'm excited about this arm wrestle.
I think my ultimate goal is to eventually sell.
So you need to I suppose you need to set it up for the business to be in a position where you can sell it, which means you can't hold all the cards. You can't be running it.
It needs to run without me.
Yeah. That's what.
But slowly, if you know what I mean. Because if I just sell it, it will just be like I haven't learned anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably want at least 10, 15 years minimum of business life. Because I learn something new every week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's a good goal is to get to like the VAT threshold and to become VAT registered, and then you've done.
Are you VAT registered?
No, not yet. Just under the threshold, but it's like to have that experience of taking a business from nothing, sole trader, to going VAT registered because you're forced to, because the business is doing so well. I think that's like a nice goal to have. Although, because a lot of complications come with it, and if you can overcome them complications and still run successfully for the next year or two, it means you've got like a good model. Something's clearly working. And if you can get to the point where you can step back and things still happen without you, then that's a very sellable business. Yeah. But I don't think I could sell Smout's pressure washing. I think it would have to be something different.
I've thought about this many times of changing the name.
But then do you go for something? Did you go for something generic that everyone else has got?
This is the thing. It's just my initials, isn't it? So no matter what, it's always going to be somewhat related to me. And then if that does happen and someone does eventually buy it, they're just going to change the name. Because they're going to want it to be theirs. So in some ways, it works in both ways. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not going to want it. They're not going to keep the same name. So it's no longer associated with me.
But if they don't keep the same name, what are they buying?
Exactly.
It's just a exterior cleaning business, and now none of your customers know who you are because the name's changed.
Yeah. This is why, I don't know, I just feel like it's one of them things that you'll bump into further down the road and be like, I wish I did that sooner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you planning on doing more of the YouTube stuff? Are you like enjoying it enough to... But I wonder if you can offer a bit of an insight as to what it's like to film while you're working, while you're trying to work.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's quite an ease. I find it quite easy. because I talk quite a lot anyway. So I will literally I will either get in the van. I know that on my calendar I will put the job that I've got for that day, and next to it I'll put film or something. So I'll know that the night before I've charged my batteries. I've got 3 GoPro batteries. I'll charge them all. I'll wake up in the morning. I've got everything, all the clips tied on and everything like that. And I'll walk to the van, and then as soon as I get in the van, I know that video started. And then I'll say something. I'll be like, right, today we've got this, or something going on. And then I'll know if it's a roof clean, I know that I'll set up the tower before, or I'll film the tower being set up. And then I'll just it's almost like a vlog. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm doing it as I would just be doing this anyway. It's not like I'm going out my way to.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything different on camera that I wouldn't be doing if the camera wasn't on. But
yeah, I'm just taking a few more minutes just to talk.
But do you find that it's a lot of extra effort on top of, because I feel like this is a very high stress job sometimes, like especially when things go wrong, and then to add another element of having to like set up the camera and move it around, and like we've got all this equipment around us, like trying to navigate and sort out the logistics of moving a tower from, do we start at the back and then move it around the front, or do we start at the front and then do we clear the gutters, or you've got all these different pieces of equipment going into one job, and then also you're trying to film it at the same time. Do you recommend that?
I quite enjoy problem solving.
Yeah.
But when things go wrong, it's not the best thing in the world.
Do you still film when stuff goes wrong?
Oh yeah. There's been pretty much every video I do there's something that's gone wrong. Like I'll just have a look through now. So in the render one, the lead went. In the one before that, my pull cord snapped, and my little flying thing of the turbo and the pole broke. The one before that, the drain got blocked, and I literally sat there for 2 hours. I couldn't do anything because the drain had filled up that much. But this is already like this. I literally just turned the machine on and started, and I've done like the tiniest little bit, and it's not even flowing towards the drain. It's filled up just from water. And just things go wrong every single day.
I used to stop filming when stuff started to go wrong, because I was like, I haven't got time to film. I need to get this done. I need to get that done. Or if the job's just a write-off and it's taking so much longer than I expected, it's just like, yeah, I'm not filming this anymore. But then I realised that's the content. That's what most people want to see. They want to see it go wrong.
Sometimes I forget. If something's really going wrong, I will fix it. That will be my main priority. I'm not going to be like, right, this has gone wrong. Now I've got to fix it. I'll be like, fix it. Then I can tell YouTube. Yeah. I can tell you know what I mean? I do enjoy it. I just feel like I'm constantly recording the same thing. Yeah. I'm constantly either on a roof or on a driveway.
It's difficult to put out like content that's different every week. But then again, Ryan from Curbside said, but that's what you're doing. So like, it's that evergreen content where you put out a satisfying driveway clean, and that's what the people sort of want to see. But I guess
I don't know my audience.
Nor me.
This is where I struggle, because if I look on my YouTube studio, how do you see it? Analytics. Audience. So most of my audience, 64.1% is from the UK. 80.3% are not subscribed, and 87% are male, 13% are female. But then it's just all like the ages around them, like 65-year-old, 21.4%, 80 to 24-year-old, 15%, and then it's just like, who's that target? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who is actually interested? Because Ryan says quite obviously, doesn't he? He's like 35 to 65-year-old women. So basically, they're after satisfying content. They're after to watch something before they
really.
Sleep or something. Yeah, I can't remember the exact age frame he said, but it was something like that.
What?
Yeah. So it's just like,
that surprised me.
Because I don't know whether to target. Do you target people in the industry that are trying to start? Do you target people in the industry that want to learn things, or do you target people that don't do the work and just want to watch satisfying clips? Do you know what I mean? I just still don't know what I want to do.
Yeah. I think you got to film what you find interesting. If you don't find it interesting, you can't expect your audience to, I suppose. What My thought with selling our kind of business is you're buying the service given by me/you, the knowledge, the skills, and with a lot of customers being new customers, is it valuable to sell? Well, I thought that with when you sell a window cleaning round, how does that work? Because you've built a rapport with all these hundreds of customers that you visit every 6 weeks or whatever to clean their windows, and then you sell your round, and then some other random guy turns up and he's charging the same amount of money, and you don't know whether he's going to do a good job or not. Like, that seems bonkers to me. As a customer, I don't think I'd appreciate someone. I suppose if there's it depends if there's like a communication with all the customers beforehand to send out a mass text and say, hi everyone, I'm selling the window cleaning business or the round or whatever. You can have a new person turn up in the next couple of weeks. They're going to do just as good a job. I suppose it's how you communicate with it. But if some random guy just turned up and I was like, who are you? How did you sell yours?
My window cleaning round?
Yeah.
I put it on Facebook. Basically said, potentially selling around. It does this. This is the turnover per month. This is what it gets every 8 weeks in this area. And then I got like 5 people message me, and then I basically just met up with 2 out of the 5, and sold it to the one that offered me the most. Quite plainly.
Can you talk money? Can you get into the specifics, or do you not want to?
I can't, to be honest. I know that. Hang on, I've got the old sheet somewhere. I know I sold it for 4.5 times the amount, but because I've been doing it for quite a while, and all of them are fairly close together. Right, sheets.
That's crazy that you had 5 messages from someone wanting to purchase a window cleaning round.
Oh yeah, if you put that in your area, I guarantee someone will travel for it. There are people traveling from like half an hour away if they wanted to do it. So this was my sheet. This is what I sold pretty much. I won't put too much in, but this is basically all the customers I had and things. And then 4 weeks. Let me just flip that. And then the other one.
How many customers is that?
Oh, I'll show you in just a second. So that was 44 customers. And the monthly was £671.
And you sold it for 4.5 times.
Yeah, it was something like 2.2, but the trouble is with it, because I was 8 weeks behind, I basically agreed, because I just wanted to get rid of it, if I'm being honest. I said to him, you pay me half, like a deposit almost. So I said, pay me £1,000 now, I'll give you all the access to the data. And then if any dropouts come, you can just pay me per customer. And only 2 dropped out, but that's just standard when you change window clean, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. But all that, it's hard to kind of say, to be honest. I kind of regret it, but I kind of don't. I don't regret it at the time because it freed me, and it also opened my eyes to why I don't like window cleaning. But at the same time, it was every single month I had £671 coming in.
Mm.
But it would only take me 1 day a week as well.
1 day a week to do. Well, if you're doing 42 people per month, did you say?
Yeah, it was about 10 a day.
Yeah.
But that's all I wanted. I didn't really push any more than that. But now, if I was to go back into it, I'd probably go for 2 or 3 days a week.
How did you sell a window cleaning? How did you get window cleaning customers in the first place?
The first one came from Facebook. So I basically said on my personal Facebook that I'm going to start a window cleaning round. Is anyone interested? And I got like friends of family, mum's friends, dad's friends, and things like that. So they were the first 5. My first actual customer came from seeing me do one of the jobs, and they said, "I'd like you to come in. Well, what would you price my job?" So I stopped around there, quoted it cheaply. It was £16 for a detached house, which is not very good. And then basically I then did that job and knocked all the neighbours, and I got 2 more from that. And I was pretty happy with that because I had 8 by then, so that was 1 day a month that
So
I had.
what are you saying when you knock on the door?
Oh, just like, oh, sorry to bother you. I just wondered if you needed a window cleaner at all. And they say yes. I'll be like, oh, great. So I had like these. I haven't got any because it's quite old, but I had like a clipboard and I'd have like name, address, contact number, price, frequency, so just 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then how much I charge for first cleans and regular clean. So if they said yes, I'd obviously be like, right, okay, I need you to take a few details and things, and I'll just give you a rough idea. I'd tell them the price on the spot. If they said no, I'd just be like, oh, all right, no worries, have a good day. I'd be really friendly. And you know what? Everyone says, most people, if I do that, say, oh, thank you for asking, though. No one ever says anything like no and close the door.
It's got to be. It's got to be quite an easy service to sell because you either want one or you don't, and there's no real haggling, I can imagine, and you haven't got to prove it with your equipment or with your reviews, or because it's just window cleaning at the end of the day. I know there's a skill to it, but I don't think customers really appreciate that there's a skill to it. So it's just like, I'll pay you whatever it is a month to clean the windows.
Have you ever gone out and knocked doors for roof cleaning?
I've never gone out and knocked doors. That's a lie, actually. I think me and Jakey tried it for one afternoon. We tried it for like an hour, and I was actually knocking on the customer's door, handing them a leaflet and saying, just wondered if you needed your gutters clearing, your roof cleaning, driveway cleaning. Didn't get much success from it at all, but I didn't put the effort in, really.
No. I feel like it's really, really ideal to knock doors for gutters and then try and upsell the roof. If you drive down the road and get a notepad and go, right, number 62's got a really mossy roof, number 4's got a really mossy roof, I'll knock those doors. I'll make a list now, and one day when it's really cold and horrible or whatever, raining or I've got no work on, I'll go and knock these doors and sell them gutter cleaning, and then price it, go home, send them the quote and say, if you're interested in roof cleaning, do let me know, and I'm happy to stop by and kind of have a chat with you. The only time I've done that, I have really good success.
Because you're basically just saying, you know what the real issue is? It's not your gutters, it's your roof.
Yeah. But I'm doing it in a way that's not pushy.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing it down their throat. I'm generally saying, I'm just wondering if you need your gutters cleared out this year. Oh yeah, actually we do. And then you kind of do them a quote and whatever, and you go home, and then just before you send it off, I've made like one of these smart docs, and just above the price in bold letters, it does say, if you're interested in any other services, I recommend roof cleaning to go alongside the gutter clearing, which is also included.
Let me know. You can get your gutter cleaned for free if you have your roof cleared.
I do windows as well now with roofs.
Yeah, I've included windows as well. Just seems to make sense, doesn't it?
Your TFR, does that actually clean windows? I've always wanted to ask that, but I never got around to it. Does it? So if you actually put that in a backpack and measure it and whatever else, it will clean the windows like spotless water?
Yeah. You put it.
That's unbelievable.
Put it in at 1 to 7 with just tap water.
What's this called?
Drive Tech TFR. Funny you should mention it.
Drive Tech TFR on eBay.
Yeah, my son keeps a barrel in his room for some reason. I don't know why. The stuff.
And that does that bubble, or does it look like soap on the windows when you do it?
Yeah.
And it dries fine. Does Synergy do the same?
Oh, you've got to rinse it off with tap water.
Right, I get you. Because I imagine, it's very similar to Synergy, isn't it? But I always Synergy, then pure water window clean afterwards. I've never tried to rinse it off.
So with Synergy, I tried to do the same thing. I thought, it must work with all the sort of soapy, degreasing sort of things. I tried it with Synergy and it left spots on the windows. I don't know if that's because I used the Synergy at 1 to 10 instead of... I wonder if it would work with Synergy at like 1 to 7 or 1 to 5 or something, but I did it at 1 to 10 and it left spots all over the windows. But with this stuff, 1 to 7, brush it onto the windows, rinse it off with tap water, and it's shiny, perfectly streak-free. Beautiful. The water sheets off.
I need some.
Where are you based?
In Essex, near Colchester.
Have you got a GSF near you? Car parts.
GSF.
Or is it GFS? I can't remember.
I have, yeah. Both bases, Ipswich and Colchester.
So they don't sell it on the website because they don't deliver these 25-litre barrels. So you've got to go into store, but they will have it in store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen one of their pictures, actually.
You just keep a barrel in the van, and you never know when you might need it. It saves you carrying pure water around with you. But if the reason I like it is because if you're doing like a conservatory clean or something, ordinarily you'd use Synergy on it, but then you've got all the glass that you're going to need to use pure water on. Whereas this, it might not be as powerful at cleaning stuff as Synergy is, but it leaves all the glass clear.
How would you find the difference with hydrophobic and hydro, whatever the other brand of windows are?
Hydrophilic.
Hydrophilic and hydrophobic, yeah.
I don't pay any attention to that sort. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't read up. I know some of them spot and some of them sheet, and when you're using this stuff, it sheets every time.
Every time.
Mm.
Yeah. I always get, because some houses for some reason have both. It's like they have separate windows sometimes.
Yeah. Does Drive Tech react with anything? I currently use a Razor Wash. It's caustic. Yeah, like Darren says, it's caustic. And so it will react with like metals and stuff. It'll corrode like things like aluminium and zinc. So you don't want to use it on cladding and stuff, like metal siding.
What do you get on your skin?
I've got it all over my face once because the wind blew back and literally it all just went into my face. I just got a damp rag and I've not had any problems.
So you off, as if it's like bleach or something, you just quickly rinse it off.
Yeah, I've not had any problems with it. I'm quite confident that I've got it all over my body at this point.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Because every time I clean gutters and fascias or whatever, it's raining on me.
Yeah, I mean, the wind blows in the wrong direction, or you do the wrong bit first, and then you've got to walk under it to do the next bit, and it's just like you're getting pissed on. I used that stuff for the first time the other week for a gutter soffit fascia job. Looked great. Left some bad marks on my tarmac, though. Still there now. Yeah. Same with Synergy. You shouldn't use that on tarmac either. But you'd hope by the time it gets to the ground surfaces that you've diluted it enough because you rinsed it, you know what I mean?
I've got a question for you.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Pure water is cheaper and quicker, surely. It is if you clean windows regularly, but if you only offer things like pressure washing or gutters, fascia, soffits, all that sort of stuff, then I don't have a pure water filling station near me, so it would take me. I'd have to drive to Solihull, which is the next town over, and I haven't really got like a pure water tank. I haven't got anything to store it in, and it would sort of get in the way. And the beauty about this stuff is, if I run out of pure water halfway through a job, it would mean I'd have to travel back and fill up. Whereas with this stuff, I'd just dilute another litre of it with tap water, and it's great. If I was a full-time window cleaner, I wouldn't bother with it. Obviously, I'd just use. But obviously now I've got the pure water resin tank as well. You could use that. So, yeah. I like the extra cleaning power that the TFR gives you. Sorry, Liam, go on.
When you biocide a roof, what do you do with the downpipes?
Best practice is to pop the downpipes off. I can't.
You just let it spray on the floor?
Yeah, I can't say that I've done it religiously. It depends what's underneath the downpipe. You could just let it catch into a bucket. If you've got one of them big gorilla tubs, you could just put that on the floor underneath it.
I have done. I've never let it pour into the drain because I've always been worried about fines. It's just finding the easiest way, because I've got them temporary downpipes. I bought 100-meter row or something. They're good, but they take a lot of time to set up, and you have to set them up right. Have you ever used a tennis ball?
Ooh, to block the gutter?
Yeah, so I've tried this. Tennis ball in, but then you have to vac the biocide out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
The only thing that worries me is you're constantly, obviously, having to click, or you're just filling your vacuum up with biocide. Then where do you put it?
Yep, because
Disposal.
it's going to be mixed with muck as well.
Yeah. So I had a chat with someone I did my PA1, PA6 license and PA2 with someone, and I said about disposal and things. So I've got about 8 25-litre drums in my container full of used biocide. And he said that you can actually reuse that. I just wonder, will you leave mucky, muddy, horrible streaks rolling down the roof?
What are you going to run it through? Because I wouldn't run that through a backpack.
Yeah. No, he did say, to be fair, he did say sieve it out and filter it out and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's more a fiddle.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be reusing it. But again, like what?
Where do you dispose of it? Have you disposed of any stuff?
No. I don't even have a waste carrier's license. I don't take any of the waste away with me. It's all left at the customer's property, and I'm certainly not collecting the biocide at the end of the job. No.
This is where I've gone wrong then, because I've collected every single bit of biocide I've ever put on a roof. It's just sat there.
That's pretty crazy.
I just get worried about pets, children, people. Things.
It's a valid concern, and I'd be interested to know what other people honestly do, because I bet most people wouldn't post about what they honestly do.
I've met people that literally don't even know about disposing of it. They just leave it all connected.
Yeah, and
it blows my mind.
I'm not going to tell you what I've done in the past, but it's
Yeah, I just don't know what to do with it.
Before I knew better, you know what I mean? Which I suppose is why training's important. But you could find a mossy car park somewhere and just knock and say, like, I've got all this biocide. It's going to kill all this moss instantly. Do you want me to spray some down for you?
Yeah. But then again, it's just all that sieving it, filtering it, making sure there's no lumps and anything, and then you put it in your backpack, and then you spray it, and then what, are you just spraying pretty much a muddy liquid?
You could put it into a watering can, maybe. Don't know. That's a very difficult issue. Yeah.
So you've never had... I've got about 30 hypo barrels. Empty.
So the benefit with the hypo barrels that I've got, I've twisted their arm at the farm shop, and now they're saying, oh, you can bring the barrels back.
Oh, right, so you can refill yours?
No, I don't refill them. I just take the empties back when I collect new ones.
Right.
But I don't think
I get mine.
Most places don't do that.
I get all mine from Pure Seal, and I see the other day they do a pickup thing.
Yeah, you got to pay for that.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's just space. Can't find it now. What is it? Would you like to just pick up?
Pour it in the gravel. You can't put it on moss without scraping it first. Yeah, that's true. Didn't think about that. Once dry, it's harmless, Paul says. A pair of tights. Filter it through a pair of tights.
Yeah, see, Dan said, I vacuumed up by before and it created a bubble machine. I did it once, and my vacuum, do you know, like when it falls over or something, it makes that horrible noise?
Yeah.
It made that noise for about the rest of the day. Like, I couldn't do anything with it. I did it once, and it all bubbled up and everything. Poured it out, and then it just kept doing that.
But like it was blocked, like it was full.
Yeah. And then because the filter and everything, like, you've got to take it all apart, haven't you? I was just wary about getting it all over myself.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of nowhere.
It's difficult when you're working with chemicals, isn't it?
My dosage as well. I just split the other day. It's completely went everywhere.
You could find some like Drasdy says, just find some gravel to pour it into, I suppose. But it's got to be with permission. What do you charge, and how do you price your roof clean jobs?
Is that aimed at me? So, what I generally do is I have a chat first with the customer, because I'm not wasting my time. I know it's not a waste of time, but if I go on Google Earth and send over a quote and it's $2,000 almost.
I'm very interested in what you're about to say, because this is my exact issue. Like, do you spend all this time putting together a quote when they had no idea it was going to be that much money?
Yeah. This is the thing. You'll pretty much, if you had 10 leads and you sent off every single one without talking to the customer face to face, and you said, what I'm going to do, this is the price, this is the method, this is the links, you can see my YouTube channel, FAQs and things, and they go, wow, it's that much. I reckon you probably get one maybe.
Yeah.
But if you went and spoke to those 10 customers individually and said, look, but without even, I'm not going to be here, I'm just going to tell you there's a lot of work that goes into this and things like this. The average price of my roof cleans are this. But the reason why they're this is because, and then you go on to the reason and what you do and all the care you take and things. And then you instantly, do you know like when you're at a customer's house and you get the feeling whether they're going to say yes or no instantly?
That's a really good way of saying, that's a really good way of giving them a rough price without giving them a rough price. Because people are constantly asking me, you know, what do you reckon? Like, have you got a rough idea of what it will cost? As soon as I give a price, I can't go any higher than that. And why would I go lower than that? So as soon as I give a rough estimate, that's suddenly the price, because I can't do anything else. But if I can say, well, my average roof is between 900 quid and 1,500 quid. So it could be anywhere within that range. But I've got to measure it up first, and you know.
Yeah.
It's a good way of saying it.
And then you instantly know, don't you? You instantly know whether they're like, oh, or they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You get you know what they're thinking. And then I just know that, right, okay, I'm just going to send off this quote, and I know I'm not going to hear back. And they say it happens quite regularly. But, yeah, in terms of price, whoever asked the question.
It was Chris.
It depends mostly on... I try and do a roof a week, if I'm dead honest. It doesn't always happen. My standard for pressure washing is actually cheaper. No, it was cheaper than my scrape, but now the scrapers are cheaper than the pressure wash. My average pressure wash is £8.50 per square metre. And that doesn't really change unless it's a huge project.
Are you accounting for the pitch?
Sometimes. It's a hard one because I know how long something's going to take me. I know that if there's a chimney or there's bay windows or there's something else or there's a flat roof to help me out, I know that how long it's going to take me. I know that a semi-detached house pressure washing will probably take me about 2 hours to clean, front and back.
Really?
Yeah, on a nice day, yeah. If I set the tower up and go, it will take me 2 hours front and back.
Bloody hell, that's good going.
But the scraping, like today, I spent 6 hours today scraping a roof, and it doesn't even look that great.
Mm.
For this, because I know I undercharged it, but I got 3 in a row next to each other. So I said to them, "Oh, I basically measured up the whole length of the roof." And did exactly what I'd normally do, and then times it by 6 instead of 7 for a scrape, and then I split it 3 ways.
Yeah,
because I know that's all it's worth of work.
2 seconds. What's the final verdict on the buyer? I'm not avoiding the buyer side conversation. I generally don't know what the answer is. If anyone else can chip in and tell us what you do with your buyer side, with your leftover buyer side at the end of the job, or what you guys do with the downpipes when you're cleaning roofs. I don't know what the correct answer is. So you're cheaper with the roof scraping, even though it takes longer. Are you cheaper because the results aren't? You know the results aren't as good as if you were to pressure wash it.
No, it's mostly because my only outgoing is the buyer side.
Right.
And with a scrape, I do use DDAC only. I won't use back 50.
Why?
There's no science behind it. I just trust that DDAC will do a better job to clear up.
Mm.
I know that if I scrape off the worst with the DDAC, whether it's GK Pro or the Bio Cleanse, or whatever it's called, BioClear, will do a better job. Well, I don't know a better job. I honestly don't know. But I know that with a scrape, I've never put back 50 on a scrape.
You're paying like double the price for that BioClear.
Yeah, but this is why, because there's no other outgoing.
Yeah.
There's no petrol to pay for, and this is the only outgoing for a scrape. And I know that I can do it all myself in a day.
My issue with the scraping is I know unless I'm able to climb on the roof, like if it's a bungalow and I'm able to do it by hand, I know it's not going to look great at the end of the job. And so that pains me, that does. And I think the customer's paying me so much money to do this. And even though it's taken me ages and I'm hurting all over, the result's not there. So I feel like I should charge less.
I know what you mean.
Is the customer paying for your time, or are they paying for the result? I feel like they're paying for the result. I don't like scraping at all. I think it's a terrible idea.
I honestly, I don't know what it is at the moment, but everyone, if I charge higher, this happened a few times as well. When I used to charge higher for the scrape, people would go with the scrape.
Really?
I don't know whether it's because I'm coming across a bit like I'm going to destroy it. I don't say anything. If anything, I kind of make the pressure washing sound like I'm not even pressure washing. It just sounds like a light hover of water going over the roof. But everyone just seems to be scared. I think it's because in the area I live in, all roofs are like typically 60, 70 years of age.
Yeah.
Like the ones I'm scraping today, they had 0 pointing on their ridge tile.
And if you can say like it's a more sympathetic approach to cleaning the roof, much higher effort, there's much more work involved, it's very strenuous. We're going to get rid of 95% of the moss and then finish the rest off with the biocide. I suppose it sounds like a more specialist service than going up there and pressure washing it. Don't know.
I think I've been really scratching my head whether to message, is it Pete Marshall, about this Marshall Air Pro, Marshall Air.
I can't remember his
because
first
I genuinely think there's a huge market for scraping, and I feel the air makes such a difference. Like today, that roof would. There's some people, I don't know if you've ever done it, that hypo a roof after they cleaned it. If I had scraped that roof with air and hypoed it, that would look like I pressure washed it.
Yeah. I was thinking about a hypermin one the other week that we scraped, because I think it would have come up great on the day. My issue was there was lead valleys. What do you do about that? It's just going to all go brown and rusty in it.
Yeah. Well, I learned the hard way, but there's some. I think it's 8-to-1 ratio of bleach won't really touch lead at all.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if it's 8-to-1 or 9-to-1, but I basically, after I did that video, I had another render job, and I went a 9-to-1, and I honestly got it all over the windows, lead, everything. Rinsed it all off, and no issue at all.
That's interesting. Is 9-to-1 enough to transform the roof tiles, do you think?
I've never tried it. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I've tried it with Indian sandstone, and genuinely, I think I went 10-to-1, and I did 3 applications with a spray. This is when I first started, and it came up really well. But do you really need it to look absolutely brilliant?
I do.
On the roof?
Yeah, I do.
I feel like it just takes off that extra. It just makes it give it that extra little. I've never done it, but like I said, I'm interested to see.
I'm very skeptical of the whole roof scraping thing, and I'm very tentative to offer roof scraping on a 2-story house that's got profile tiles, because I just think I'm not going to get everything. And if I know I'm not going to get everything, what's the point in doing the job? That's my mindset.
Right, yeah. I mean, today I was 40 feet away because of the conservatory.
That's insane. I saw that. Where did I see that? Was it on your Instagram?
I think I put it in the Discord.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that was it.
Oh, it was miles away.
That looked insane. I don't know how you did that.
It just doesn't look good. You just have to set expectations. I was like, well, when I had the chat with them, I just said, I'm not gonna remove every single bit of moss, but I'm gonna remove the worst of it.
I can't believe your arms haven't dropped off.
Oh, I've got a reoccurring injury. My shoulder and wrist never recover.
Where did you post it?
In the general chat.
Yeah. This one.
Oh, is it been just loads of chatting?
Look how far away you are from that roof. That's insane. I'd have been up on that flat roof. Can you set up a scaffolding tower on the flat roof?
I'd be worried.
Why? If you put some boards down.
Oh, maybe put some boards down, yeah. But then again, though, how are you going to get unless you're going to carry all the scaffolding up a ladder, at least half of it. The front looks really good today. I didn't send the finished photo.
Yeah, if you had air on that, just to blow all that excess off.
Yeah. It would just make it look, and then like I say, if you did a light bleach treatment,
Yeah,
I don't know how well it would come up.
just to get some colour back on the tiles.
Mm. But this particular roof was very old, and there was about 5 tiles that came off.
Really?
Oh yeah, I did tell them, but I just tried to stick them back where they were, if you know what I mean.
Oh, this is what I was going to ask you. You know, so I've been almost sort of avoiding scraping roofs that have got a conservatory, like exactly like the one in this video, because I'm going to scrape. Potentially, some mortar's going to like start rolling down the roof onto the conservatory and smash it, or I'm going to get all the moss stuck behind the conservatory. I'm not going to be able to get to it to like clear the moss away, and then I've got to clean the conservatory afterwards. Is it like, am I blowing the situation out of proportion? Is it really that bad, or am I just being?
I mean, this one today got covered in moss, but what I did is in that flat roof, I had my gutter vac and I had the 90-degree nozzle and cleared it all up, and then I just gave it a light X-jet down back in. I washed it all down first, then vacuumed out and washed it all down again.
That 90-degree nozzle is really useful for stuff like that.
Yeah. I haven't got any. Do you know that nozzle you were selling? I haven't got anything like that, or the oversized one, or anything.
Have you not?
I was keep debating buying one because obviously you can push a lot more water out at a lot less pressure. But my sniper nozzle, I honestly don't think I can live without it. I use it for everything. I was half tempted today to actually use sniper nozzle and just rinse down all the excess moss.
I did that the other day on a roof scrape. We scraped everything, cleared the gutters out, and then just because I didn't want to get all the because everything was dry, I didn't want to get all the moss wet in the gutters to then vacuum it up. So we scraped it first, vacuumed the gutters to this one here, and then after I'd finished scraping everything, so after this point, we rinsed everything down with the sniper nozzle.
It literally comes up amazing, doesn't it?
And it looks really nice now.
Did you do it from that angle, or did you go from the ground?
I did it from a tower, from a scissor lift.
Right.
Yeah, I could have done it from the ground, but I thought I've got the scissor lift. It's easy enough to move around. I might as well.
Yeah, I tried to do it from the ground once, and it actually just pushed everything up and to the side.
Yeah, that's the difficulty. Unless the water's flowing from above. I mean, if you look on this roof here, all these little bits, you can't unless it's a bone dry day and you can get one of the wire brushes and go over the whole roof again afterwards. Like, you're not getting all these bits, which is where that Marshall Air scraper would come in handy to blow all these little bits down the roof, or you go in afterwards and rinse it all down.
I do think that Marshall Air is quite good, but it's one of the, it's one of them reaction buys, isn't it? It's one of them where you're like, just want to try it.
Yeah, it'd be cool to try before you buy. But like on this one, for example, if we were to spray hypo up onto that roof, like that whole ridge, I would have thought would just turn brown, and like all this lead down the side is just gonna oxidize and rust.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those, isn't it? I just don't. I don't think I'd ever try hypo because it just seems to just ruin my backpack as well.
Have you got a chemical pump in it?
No, I keep meaning to buy one, but I'm just gonna wait till I get a new one and then put that in it straight away.
Yeah.
Because the one like I said, I've been through 3. Do you know what? I've never had access or tried a Gardner one, but every single big boy, like I said, I've gone through 3 in almost 2 years. And the batteries wear on them. And I don't know if it's the pump, but basically when I flick the switch on this one I've got now, it takes about 10 seconds for it to power on. Will
you just give me 2 seconds? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Maybe you can read some questions or talk to the chat for a second. What's up? You forgot my coffee?
9 to 1, what really gets sprayed off the surface. Are you using an X-Jet? Because I would probably use a backpack. If I'm being honest.
Okay. What was
Because your
that?
extra, you're kind of spraying what you think to be the ratio, but a backpack, because if you put a certain amount of liters in, you pour the hypo in, you know exactly what you're putting on. Whereas an X-Jet, depending on revs, depending on what do you call them, the little jet things you put in it, the little
Proportioner.
proportioners, yeah. You still don't. I don't really know. I mean, I've never ever taken the black one out of mine.
5-1.
I
Just
always, yeah, but I don't use it for anything else. I don't use it for bio, just
yeah.
hypo.
Well, I mean, it's 5-1 at 15 liters a minute. But you're probably not using 15 liters per minute. You're probably turning the revs down and using more like 7-8 liters per minute maybe. And so like, is it? You're just guessing, aren't you, with the X-Jet? You really are just guessing the proportions. But the other thing you can do. No, that's the same thing. I was going to say you could pre-dilute it at a third of the dilution ratio, send it through the X-Jet with no proportioner in, which equates to about 1-3, depending on what sort of machine you got. I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult one, isn't it, with the X-Jet? I did see the issue I've got with the Gardner backpack is the wiring inside is just terrible. It's just put together terribly. The type of connections that are in there, just everything comes loose. Some of the little soldering. Is it soldering? Some of the solders come loose. When I looked at, someone posted a picture of the big boy backpack on Facebook, and they showed the wiring inside that, and I thought that's how it looks like it should be done. So I'm surprised that you've had issues with the big boy. Someone else in chat just said as well, I've had 2 big boys both pack up.
I don't. This is nothing against them, but I don't think I'll order off Window Clean Warehouse for a little while. Last time I ordered something, it was literally only a brush head, and it took 3 weeks to come.
Really? Yeah, that's not good, is it?
And I'm in the market for a new roof cleaning pole. Not because I've got anything against the GVS 35. I just need longer, and I know that I can switch out my 45 for it and get a longer hose. However, it then takes away my possibility to buy myself in the ground unless I buy a whole new pole.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to go with a high mod Phantom because it's universal, and if I wanted to use it on a scrape or anything else, I can use my same fittings for same heads, what we call it, on the scraping tools and things.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you disassemble your GVS pole and just put that kit onto? Oh, like you say, you need the longer hose, don't you?
Yeah, this is my trouble, because there was a video I did which I couldn't reach the other side because my hose was actually the bit that was doing me, if you know what I mean. Because I've got the foot pedal, I have to basically have an extra meter.
Yeah, between the foot pedal and the end of the pole.
Yeah, so I was like this with a pole, and I would have been able to reach it, but I couldn't because I was being tugged by the foot pedal.
Do you think? Did you start with a trigger?
No, I've never used a trigger.
Really?
I went to Expo. I think I spoke to. I can't remember who I spoke to. But yeah, I literally went. The first thing I went and did was bought a foot pedal from Darren. And then I sorted out my pole, because I always remember chatting to you about the Peugeot partner, seeing if I could fit it in.
Yeah.
The 45 and the 35. And I bought the 35. And yeah, I've never used a trigger. I've got the trigger, but I've never used it. It just felt a bit like stiff. It felt a bit wrong. So I just didn't bother.
I think the reason it's stiff is because it's got a cam inside, like the ST2600, where you pull it past a certain point and then it sort of locks into place. So you're putting less effort on the trigger. I don't know.
Have you ever tried a foot pedal?
No, and I'm quite intrigued. I like the idea that my arm doesn't have to be here.
Oh yeah, sorry, pardon me. I basically have my pole, a whole section behind my tower, rest it on the tower railing, and I can just push down with my hands. And I can basically do like the whole roof like that if I really wanted to.
That would be the dream. I think my main issue when I'm cleaning a roof is my hand sticks like this If I pull my hand off the trigger after an hour of cleaning a roof, I can't close my hand. It's just like this. Because it's not only that repetitive strain where you're holding it for the same position, but the vibrations that are coming through the lance as well. You can't feel your fingers after an hour.
No.
And then my shoulders like this, my elbows like this, and I'm just sort of I'm trying to climb back down the tower with one hand, like.
This is also another trouble as well. Trying the foot pedal I've got is quite heavy, and I can imagine it's quite easy to forget where to put the foot pedal. I've never done it, but when you're like picking it up and over your head, and you're literally holding the hoses that go into it and trying to stick it over your head, and then when you open the trap door, you don't want to knock it off or catch the hose. It's a bit of a faff to get it up there, to be honest, but I don't think I could do without it. And generally, for a safety point as well, if I was to stick someone on a roof, I'd want them to have a foot pedal.
Yeah.
Because I know that the only thing that I didn't, the first time I ever used it, is you're a bit wary about taking your foot off, so you take your foot off a bit slower, and then you get scared, and you put your foot back on it, and then you're like
up and down like that. Like, you know, when you first learn to drive a car and your clutch is going in and out like this.
Yeah, literally like that. And then you get used to it, and then it becomes a whole lot easier. And then you just glide. You just put your hands wherever you want, and it's just I think one of my top purchases.
The main issue I find with regards to safety when you're using when you're pressure washing a roof is for someone new who hasn't done it before. The one thing is that initial burst where it flies up in the air. The other thing is coming off the trigger and it dropping, and you forgetting how much weight is on the end of it and smashing a tile or damaging your pole or whatever. The other thing is what people don't seem to talk about for some reason, but if you rotate the pole for whatever reason and the turbo is pointing down and then it's suddenly pointing in that direction, your lance is flying off in the other direction, which I think is crazy that that's a possibility. I know like professionals aren't going to make that mistake, but
I set up in the first time I ever bought that was the week I had a roof clean booked in a week after Expo, and all my stuff came from Julia on the Friday, and I set it all up in my garden. I had it full length on a bin top, and I practiced. And I genuinely think that if I went on that roof without doing that, it could have been catastrophic.
Yeah, you just don't know what to expect, do you?
No, it's just something you've never done before, and even if you were doing it from the ground for the first time, I genuinely think you would want to practice in the middle of nowhere, maybe a car park or something. Because
and also when it's full length like that, you lift it up, and the end comes down, and then you push down, and the end goes up. Like it's like the opposite. It's counterintuitive, go like this.
Yeah.
And not only have you got that twisting thing where it's going to fly off in the other direction if you twist the turbo nozzle off axis, but also when you get to the end of the gable or the end of the roof, and you're trying to catch the end of the tiles, if you go too far, the turbo's got nothing to push up against, and so if you go too far off the end of the roof, it just drops, and you've got to try and lift.
That?
Yeah.
I wonder whether that's your hand placement, because obviously you're a bit like that, aren't you? I suppose.
Yeah, possibly.
Because I actually go off the edge deliberately.
Really?
This is my service cleaner, definitely not, because I will go with it. Because that weighs a lot. But the turbo, my turbo hovers. I literally, the other day when I was with that jet clean pressure washing, I was going over the bay windows with the pressure on and back down. And it was like above the, like quite high above the roof, just to get over. Because if I dropped it, I was full length, and then trying to lift it, you can't lift it.
Yeah.
Without the
I guess you get that muscle memory for it, don't you? And you start to understand how it works.
Yeah.
Have you only ever had the one surface cleaner for the roof?
Yeah.
Which one have you got?
The Turbo Devil 12-inch.
How do you find it?
It's good. It's a good job, but it's bloody heavy. Because I have I don't double. Do you know that you have double elbow?
Mm-hmm.
I don't double elbow. I take off the whole thing. Do you know like the quick release? You stick your turbo in. I take all that off and basically have one elbow, because otherwise you're fighting your pole.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great. It's really good if you've got flat tiles. I use it on any tile, to be honest. You just need to up the pressure a little bit. It's good. It's another option as well. If you're a bit tired and a bit fatigued, it's good because it just glides.
Is there any point where you, instead of going sideways, is there any point where you'd go down
All the time.
and then put it back to the top and go down again?
Yeah.
So you
On a, what they called, the
profile,
wave tile.
yeah.
If it's a flat roof, I go side to side. But if it's one of them, I basically stick the turbo devil on the two bits that stick up, and just come down,
Right. Okay.
and then go back up again.
So on the
Yeah.
on the two wavy bits of the tile, you rest the turbo devil across the top of them, and then just drag backwards.
Yeah. If I can walk down, I can. If I'm on the ground, yeah. If you're on a tower, you kind of can, but you can probably go about halfway down because your pole is then leaning off the tower by like meters,
Yeah.
and then you'll kind of get a bit worried because you don't want it to fly off the other end.
Yeah. It tips backwards and
yeah. But what tower do you use?
oh, I've used a few different ones now. The one I've used the most is like the just iron, like steel, super heavy.
The boss tower.
I don't know what it is. It's from the higher center, and it's probably just the cheapest one you can buy, and it's the heaviest one. It's the most annoying. But my local Travis Perkins, I've seen they've got some aluminium towers that you can hire, and I'm quite keen to see how much they charge.
I paid £800 for my me tower. I used a boss tower before.
Did you say
And
my
in terms-
tower?
Yeah.
Mm.
Space in the van, as well as ease. Brilliant. It's just a bit small.
Your
Platform is just.
are you
a bit
slightly
small.
under the gutter line?
No. So you're perfect height for a 2-story every
right.
time. I just mean like the platform with the foot pedal and you
Yeah.
and the GoPro. If you're filming, you're a bit like squeezed. Do you know what I mean? Because my foot pedal, I'm right footed, so my foot pedal goes to my right foot, and I'm leaning, and my GoPro is normally my left shoulder.
Yeah.
And if I go like that, I will hit something. I will either hit the railing of the tower, or I will hit my GoPro off, or something. That's the only thing I find of it. But in anything, yeah, it's just brilliant, and I would buy it again, absolutely.
Mm.
And also things like annoying guttering, I use it, go all the way up 90 degree on the gutter back, and just drop it in.
Yeah.
I use it just everything, pretty much anything I can possibly think of.
Are you familiar with IGAD poles, LGAD poles? I don't know if is that an L or an I. Try Clean Link, who supplied Jake with a pole. Yeah, the Clean Link I think goes up to 40. How big were you trying to go with your pole?
I think 50 is safe. I think
50?
50, yeah.
I don't know if theirs goes that high.
I've looked at the over 8, but I generally don't know enough about it to make sure that it fits all my fittings. Because they're that funny shape, aren't they?
Yeah, I think theirs goes up to 40. The Clean Link. What was Is it iLag? No, it's not iLag, is it? I've lost the message now.
How do you find your Gardner SLX? CLX? SLX?
The CLX was the first pole that I bought. Super floppy. I thought it was great when I first bought it because I didn't know any different. But yeah, now that I've felt the Clean Link that I've got, I can see it's just super floppy. Like a lot of the input when I'm cleaning faces and soffits and stuff, a lot of the input is wasted. I'm using a lot of energy just fighting the whip.
I have the same pole as you, and I find the same thing. I don't use it anymore.
Really? I think
I actually use the Renegade.
Well, now that I've got that new one, because it's great because me and Jakey have got a pole each now, and we can cut the job in half, and we'll just switch between them, depending on who's doing the higher bits. But the difference is insane. Being able to point the brush exactly where you want it, rather than that sort of fighting that side to side motion, you can feel it all in your ribs at the end of the job. It's I don't want to say the words, but it's potentially a game changer having a stiffer pole. Potentially. What's the best pole? Sorry, go on.
No, I was basically just going to follow on to that.
What's the best pole to buy ideally? I need a new power pole and a water-fed pole. I've seen full carbon high mod hybrids. Which is the best? Liam?
It's generally money-wise, isn't it? It's how much you want to spend. You can go out and spend £1,000 on a pole, or you can go out and spend 300 quid on a pole. They do the same thing, just one weighs a lot less.
I started making a pole guide. Sorry, you keep talking while I'm finding it.
It depends what you're going to use it for as well. If you're going to use it for, you said power pole, didn't you, for roof cleaning?
Yeah.
They just get smashed about.
That is a good point. Yeah. My roof cleaning pole does get battered more than my other one.
It's hard to say, really, isn't it? It's kind of, I don't know.
I started.
You can narrow it down.
Sorry, we keep interrupting each other.
It's just a bit of a lag, isn't it? Sorry, my fault. Go on.
I started making this spreadsheet where you can sort. Basically, you want the pole by the length initially, don't you? That's my logic. Is you want, well, say for example, I want a 30-foot pole, let's say. So I'd filter everything by the 30-foot poles. And then this isn't a full spreadsheet just yet, but I'd get all the brands, the suppliers that supply a 30-foot pole. I'd then know which material the pole's made out of, whether it's a composite or whether it's full carbon fibre or whether it's a different grade of... Apparently high mod carbon fibre is different to like a normal carbon fibre pole. I'd then get the weight and then I'd get the price comparison, which I think is a really cool idea. I think a lot of people would probably benefit from this spreadsheet if I found the time to actually do it properly.
That GVS Pro 45 is very good at what it does. It does save me a lot of time.
Oh, have you got the 45?
Yeah, so that I can buy at any roof from the ground.
Really?
And that saves you almost a day, I'd say. You don't have to build the tower, you don't have to... As long as the downpipe's disconnected via ladder, I can have a full roof by-side in an hour.
Wait, what do you mean? Why? How are you doing it with the Pro 45? Oh, sorry. What's your power pole that you've got?
35.
That's the 35, and you've also got the Pro 45, which is the same pole. It's just not got the high pressure adapters on it. Yeah. And what?
It's a bit bendy, but
it's a bit what?
Bit bendy when it's fully extended. You can probably expect that.
I think they all are to an extent.
Yeah.
What brushes and stuff have you got paired up with that pole?
I've got the standard nylon 11-inch.
The big green one?
Red one. From
Guts Vacuum Systems? Oh.
Window Clean. I've only got 2 brushes. I've got that one and I've got an Extreme Seal from Gardner. So I use, basically for any harsh stuff, such as biocide or hypo, I use the crap nylon 11-inch. And for all the fascias and soffits or windows, I use the Extreme Seal.
So, when you've got the Pro 45, what gooseneck, what adapter are you putting into the top of that to be able to put your brushes on it? Is it a Gardner gooseneck?
Yeah, it's the square one that you press the button and it falls in.
Yeah, so it's the same one that come out of your CLX pole. Have you just plopped that in?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I did have another one for Window Clean Warehouse, which was almost like a buckle. Do you know, like your rucksack and stuff when you can clip them together? It was like that, but it snapped. On a windy day, I was using my Renegade pole, and it fell off the scaffolding, and it snapped the adapter. But it was a crap adapter anyway because it wouldn't fit with any other brush.
Yeah.
So
that's my issue with looking for poles and stuff, is what's gonna work with the kit that I've already got, because I don't want 2 different pieces of kit that aren't interchangeable.
The only thing that isn't interchangeable for me is the Skyscape scraping set and the GVS scraping set. The Skyscape one won't fit into the GVS pole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame that they're all different, but I suppose they've got no incentive to want to make them the same. I don't know. Could you go with a clean link 35 as a power pole with the conversion and a 40-foot as a water-fed pole and brush hose, etc.? Would that be a good starting point? Yeah, I spoke to the Tom that supplied the clean link to me, and he said it's a similar material to another very high-profile pole that's already out on the market that everyone uses for roof cleaning. I'm not going to say which pole it is because I don't know if it's a true comparison or not, but he says other people do use them as power poles. So, and I don't honestly think that you're going to find a cheaper full carbon pole in the UK than I mean, I don't know, Liam. Do you know of any that are like full carbon for this sort of money?
Not for 395 quid for a 40-footer, no. Definitely not.
That's
The
included.
only thing I'm curious about is the weight, because my 45 weighs less than that.
Yeah.
GVS. But it's also 140 quid more expensive.
Yeah, so there's got to be some difference in materials or clamps or something's different, because the types of carbon fibre as well are all different, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know. I've only had the CLX, the Renegade, and the 2 GVS poles. I've never tried any of the big dogs, is what some people call them, the Phantoms and the over 8s and the Gardner SLXs, whatever they're called. But the thing is, I can't justify paying that much money for a pole unless it's gonna do something different for me.
Yep, true. And I've heard different mixed reviews about the SLX. Some people are saying it's super wobbly, and other people are saying it's the best pole they've ever had. I don't know.
It's such a waste of money if you're only going to clean windows and soffits and fascias with it, because you don't need it. You can use it, like the Renegade pole from Window Clean Warehouse is like 150 quid. It weighs a ton, but it does the job.
Well, you say that, but if you're a full-time window cleaner and you've got some big jobs and stuff, you want to invest in a really good pole. A light, stiff pole.
I know what you mean, but my CLX, I know it's a bit bendy, but I could still work with that every single day. I know what you mean, but it's not going to make my job any quicker. It's just going to make me spend more money because I want to.
I don't know. Is it not going to make you less tired at the end of every single day cleaning windows full time? It's got to have an impact, surely. If it's slightly lighter, stiffer, again, you're not losing those inputs, wasted energy, surely.
Possibly. But then again, though, yeah, I don't know, but it's got to be not by much. I feel tired no matter if I work 8 hours every day anyway.
I feel tired before I've even started.
Yeah. I don't know about you. Have you got any injuries that you just can't shift?
No, I mean today we started with a gutter clear on quite a large property, and then we went to the next one, did a gutter clear, washed all the faces and soffits on another large property, and then the last job we did was a gutter clear and then washed all the faces and soffits on a, again, fairly large property. So it's like I've spent all day doing this. And my shoulders are knackered. And if it weren't for Jakey, I'd probably do like 2 of them a day on my own. But now I've got Jakey, I'm like, yeah, let's just do 3. That's fine. But it's not fun.
So it's just aches after a job and you fine after that?
Mainly aches. Jakey's recently broke his thumb. We call him Sausage Finger because he's got a big sausage finger, and this is all from rugby and stuff. So he's coming in. He's got a bad knee. He's got a bad. What was it he had the other day?
Does he wobble in on a Monday morning?
He's always got something wrong with him. It doesn't affect his work at all. He's an absolute trooper. But he did the other day. He's broke his thumb, and he's like, I ain't gonna bother going to the hospital because he's a big boy. He just knows they're not going to do anything. So he got a lollipop stick and strapped it to his thumb to like keep it straight. And he's still working like this. It's ridiculous. What have you injured? Are you injured?
Yeah, I can't shift my left wrist.
Really?
The minute I touch a pole that's stretched further than 20 feet, it hurts and it doesn't go away.
Have you
It hasn't gone away.
Have you done something to it, or is it just like a repetitive strain thing?
I think it's got to be repetitive because I can't remember a time when I've gone, ow, that really hurt. It's just happened. And I had good, because I didn't have anyone working with me. I had a good month off of roofs, and I thought, oh, this is a good time to, fix my wrist and just go by and just chill out a little bit day to day. And I went back to, well, the thing is, I jumped straight back in the deep end. I went and did 2 roofs in a week, and it just hurt from minute one.
Yeah. I don't know how people are doing regular roof cleaning, to be honest. There's people that do like 4 or 5 a week, aren't there? I just don't understand. Yeah. I don't know how Sid. I don't know how Sid and his team do it. Like, to be honest, when he talks about his staff turnover and stuff, I'm not surprised because most people aren't cut out for this job. It's a very difficult job.
Stuff, anything, didn't he? Didn't he have his father-in-law working for him?
I think so.
That must have been quite tough, I imagine.
MH exterior, welcome. Lighter stiff pole, definitely better on the arms, etc. End of a window cleaning day. If you buy a power pole, they've already removed the top section, so a 35 foot is a 35 foot. If you buy a water-fed pole to convert, you need to buy a 40-foot pole if you're wanting a 35-foot pole. Yeah, that's something to consider. So you're going to lose 5 feet off the end of the pole when you swap it over and convert it.
Do you reschedule anything for the wind?
We were supposed to be yesterday. We were supposed to be at a school doing faces, soffits, windows, and I just texted the lady in the morning and just said like it's going to be too dangerous for us to work. And then last week we rescheduled all of today's jobs that were supposed to be I think Thursday. Rescheduled them all for today because the frost last week. See you, Gaz. Thanks for the donation, mate. Appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in. Have you rescheduled much work recently?
I have and I haven't. It tends to be when I did my PASMA course. They basically said don't go on a tower if it's above 22 mile an hour wind.
Mm-hmm.
And today it was 60 miles an hour, and my pole was flying away. The tower was shaking a little bit, and it brings me back to the point of that how I don't understand how you can do a roof every day.
Yeah,
because there's some days where it's just completely unsafe.
Yeah,
because on Wednesday it says between 11 and 4 it's going to be 21, 23, 43, 40, 21, 21, 19.
Yesterday morning it was 25 mile an hour winds. And today just caught me totally off guard. I had my pole in the air, and there was just a huge gust of wind. There was no wind at all, and then suddenly it was like, and my pole. I'd never experienced my pole get taken by the wind like that. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's horrible because you actually don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said today, 40 feet away almost, and I'm being dragged. And you like it all. Do you know? I've never had to do it, but I've always thought about it. What would actually happen if I lost control of a pole? Would you let go?
Yeah, I think you just got to let go, ain't you?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's going to drag you off the edge, though.
No, but say, have you ever tried to pressure wash a roof in the wind?
No.
Because that is severely dangerous. I mean, I was up there on about 28 miles an hour, and it was only a half-build scaffold, so I thought it'd be all right. But do you know, like when you have to draw the line between the next house, it got to that point, and I just thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. My pole was just going constantly.
Yeah.
and it just looked terrible. So I just had to call it and went back the next day and did it. But you could lose control so easily just because of the wind.
I think I always thought when I was a bit younger, like, who would have a job outside because the weather's so unpredictable. Like, I wonder about builders and landscape gardeners and stuff, because throughout the whole winter you can't really lay patios and stuff because of the frost, and like the cement mixes don't work as well if the frost gets to them, and there's all sorts of variables. If it rains, you just can't work because it's going to like dilute everything that you're trying to. I don't know. When you're building a wall, if it's too windy, like, there's so many factors. There's so many opportunities to just call work off for the day, and it seems very unreliable to me. And then I ended up being an exterior cleaner.
And the thing is, well, it's up to you, isn't it? Really, I get that bricklayers and things can't, because obviously, like, their whole day's work could go to waste. But if I really wanted to, on a -2 afternoon or something, I could go and do something. It's just that, do you know what I mean? I'm not like held back by the weather unless it's like a roof or something like that.
I don't know. I was the other day. We've got a very simple job that we have to do on a school roof, flat roof. Literally, just it's probably going to take us 10 or 15 minutes just to scrape some moss off the roof.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it the other day. We literally turned up first thing in the morning, and it was frozen solid. And we said, it's going to be 4 degrees later on today, so we'll come back later on. The sun was out. And in those shaded areas where the sun hadn't got to yet, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was still frozen solid. So we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And
I had that with guys the other day. I couldn't get them out because it's frozen.
Yeah, it's just weird little things like that. It's like, do you spend the effort to... I had a burner in the van. I had like a what do you call them?
A blow torch, isn't it?
Yeah. I could have got up there with that and defrosted, but it's like, what am I doing? Just come back another day.
Yeah,
this is just too much effort.
Yeah.
I don't know. Clean
I know
coat.
what you mean.
Welcome. I've got a clean coming up on decking. What nozzle is best to use, and advise on where to buy. Personally, I've started using these 65-degree rinse down nozzles. I think Steve Shires, who is the wizard of cleaning decks and staining and treating them and stuff and sanding them, he would probably recommend a 25 or a 40-degree nozzle. I like the 65-degree nozzle because it covers the whole width of the panel. You just do 2 passes on it. Where do you get a 65-degree nozzle from? Where do you buy your nozzles from?
Can I have one of yours?
You can, yeah. But you can also get them from like Rutland pumps and stuff.
I'm interested with a quadjet, the J-Rod. Quadjet? J-Rod?
J-Rod, yeah.
But they're expensive, what they are. But
yeah,
I use Rutland pumps for things like this because I just feel like they're a bit easier to navigate the website.
Yeah, if you were to use get a J-Rod, you could get a 0 degree, 15, 25 and a 40 in the same nozzle. And so that might be worth doing, and you can try and figure out which one works best on the decking then. 65 is like a little bit overkill. It's very wide, so you might be better off with the 40. But it's up to you. Yeah, I've been meaning to try one of these J-Rods, to be honest. But
I just think they're expensive because if you put all the right sizes on and you'll see the total price, it's like 50, 60 quid.
Oh, I didn't realise you pay extra for the nozzles.
Yeah, if you put every size and all that, it will come up quite a lot.
Bloody hell. Let me just work that out, because that does get expensive, doesn't it? Excluding VAT, so it's $57.96 just for the holder. And then it's £4.20. Is that including VAT, or is that an extra £4.20 plus VAT? Sorry, mate. That is £74.76.
Is that including delivery?
No.
It's just not worth it, is it?
I don't know. I mean, it's a great product. I'm not sure.
It's worth it if you're going to use it quite often. But the thing is, I use, like I say, sniper nozzle or X-Jet to rinse down. Or I've got those 3 white, yellow, and green coloured nozzles that I just stick in. Because it's very rare that I go, right, take out the 25 and put in the 60 or whatever.
Do you have the correct ones for your machine? Did you get those with the machine that you've got, or are they for your old machine?
I bought them in 06.
Yeah. I was going to say, because some people, including myself, if you've upgraded your machines over the years and you've still got old nozzles from your old machines, that could potentially damage, because you're restricting the flow too much. Could potentially damage your new machine by using the wrong nozzle.
I did have to use my old turbo nozzle the other day. It's my other one. I've got 3 and they're all blocked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were little stones and things in them. I need to carry around toothpicks. They're one of the most random things, but toothpicks are great.
There's also, with my Equip to Clean machine, that came with a little pin that you can unblock your nozzles with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like it's got a ring on it, so you can like tie it to your keys or whatever.
Every single time I use the Chaplin sealer sprayer, it's blocked.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And it's like glue, isn't it?
Yeah, I know that feeling. Are you all right for a bit? I'm conscious that it's getting quite late. Are you okay?
Yeah, you all right?
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Dan says, I highly recommend the rinse nozzle. I had one off Jake 2 or 3 weeks ago. They work great. There you go. I lost control of poles, end up snapping on something very scary, was going to hit. I don't know what you're saying, Paul. But I did see someone put in the Discord the other day, their pole dropped off the end of the roof, and it was full carbon fibre pole, and it literally just snapped in half on the end of the roof. I had one of their quad jets, but it just kept spinning out of position. The Marshall air system is just like using your pressure washer, but with air. So could you not connect up a compressor for the air? What do you mean? It is just an air compressor feeding onto the end of your roof scraper. I mean, I'm sure you could build that yourself fairly cheap. Have you considered doing that?
The Marshall Air?
Yeah.
I haven't, to be honest. I mean, I've only singly had a glance at the Marshall Air. I see quite a lot of it used by QAO exterior cleaning. But no, I haven't thought about building it myself.
Aren't they like $5,000 plus?
Yeah, but they're the same size as your pressure washer on a trolley.
You what?
So it's the same build as what your pressure washer is in the trolley. So it's exactly that's what it's built on, is a trolley the same size as what you'd buy your pressure washer on.
Right, okay.
So because of the convenience of it.
Is it a little generator that you start with petrol and then it's an air compressor?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was some 12-volt air compressor or something.
Your same fittings of your scraper bits you've got already.
Mm.
And you have like a little, do you know, like the hose you stick up your waterfed pole?
Yeah.
Like that, similar to that. And yeah, it just basically fires air just in front of your scraper. So that everything in front of your scraper will just be shifted.
I bet you could build one for less than $1,000.
Probably. I mean, this is what it looks like. It's just on your
let me just
trolley.
pull the website up.
Yeah, it's probably easier for you to have a look. But it's just a little.
It does look good, to be fair, doesn't it? It looks like a. Wait, oh, that's a Marshall Pro. That's something different.
Yeah, they've got their own separate website. It's called Marshall Air, I think. You can find out.
I've not seen this website. I mean, it does look like some proper kit, doesn't it? To be fair,
it seems kind of worth it, but at the same time, is it?
Finance available. Oh, that's the head that goes near your scraper, is it?
Yeah, so that will fit what I've got. I don't know if you've got the same one. That will fit my window cleaning warehouse scraper.
How do you activate it? Have you got a trigger on the pole?
I don't know that much about it, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see someone do a video on it.
So I don't think I'd want it running constantly. I'd like to have full control I'd like to have a trigger to spray
I
it.
think there probably is. I think I heard somewhere that it's a 2-man thing.
Oh, that's not attractive. Do you think the air compressor would work with a flat surface cleaner? Like a spinning air compressor? But what would be the point? A flat surface cleaner. It's just going to contain everything in there, isn't it? It's just going to spray it all around inside the surface cleaner. It's not necessarily going to spray it down the roof, which is where you want it to go. That was me, mate. Snapped the GVS 45. Oh, clean coat. Snapped it in half. I bet you were absolutely devastated. It was 57 quid, Jake. When you added the nozzle, it went up from 36 quid. Oh, I'm an idiot. Ah, Dan, thank you. I've just spread false misinformation about the Rutland Pumps nozzle. It was not, in fact, that expensive.
What if Gardner got any backpacks in stock?
Gardner have never got backpacks in stock.
That's why I keep buying the big boy, because whenever I want one, they're never in stock. Oh, it's in stock.
Marshall Air runs constantly, comes with 2 feeds, but you can use it solo. Just has the option for 2 connections. Oh, I see. You can run it solo. So why wouldn't they put a trigger? I don't think I'd want it to run constantly. Surely you'd just have like a little... You know, with air compressors, they've got air sensors in them. They've got like pressure sensors in them. So when you come off the trigger, the air compressor just shuts off, doesn't it?
It doesn't just shut off. It doesn't just shut off. It just... Do you know when you squeeze the trigger and then, it pumps your tyre, and then you let go and the air compressor keeps running, but there's no air coming out?
Yeah. So why can't they do that?
I don't know. I haven't actually seen anyone use it. I've seen a glimpse of it.
I feel like it'd be quite annoying if it's just constantly running in the background. I'm not sure. Maybe you do want it running all the time just so you can just crack on. I don't know. I was gutted, but also relieved I didn't smash the slates on the roof. Yeah. Bye, Tracy. Thanks for watching, mate. Should we call it there? Have you got anything else you want to... I mean, we should do this more regularly because I'm having a really good chat with you. I'm learning a lot.
The other thing I had was uniform.
Uniform. Go on.
Generally, what do you wear around customers? Do you ever turn up in, I don't know, jogger bottoms or shorts that aren't quite appropriate, like jogger shorts?
Hot pants.
Or
do you wear hot pants to your customers?
The only reason I ask is because I only strictly wear cargo trousers or cargo. I'm more of a shorts person, so I technically wear cargo shorts, but then sometimes when it's cold, I wear cargo trousers. But I honestly don't know if I could. Do you know, if I took someone on, I wouldn't really want them going around in joggers.
Yeah, me and Jakey wear work trousers, with all the pockets and stuff in them.
Yeah.
And even if they're covered in bleach and they're knackered and they're horrible, I'd still prefer to wear those over a pair of trackies, definitely.
Yeah. It's just, because you see, don't you, your standard forward-focused window cleaning people that go out to clean windows.
Yeah.
And they're wearing like jogger shorts, joggers, whatever.
I mean,
the Nike.
If they're comfortable and they're not looking for more work. They've got their regular customers that they visit every week, every 6 weeks or whatever. They're not trying to impress anyone. They know they do a good job. They're not looking for any new customers, and they're just cracking on trying to be as comfortable as possible while they're at work. But I don't know, if you're trying to sell high ticket services like roof cleaning and stuff, I feel like you've got to be smart and presentable. But I just wear these polo tops, and yeah, just work trousers.
Do you reckon you'd have any higher success rate if you went in a shirt or something like?
It's a good question.
I had this feeling is that if I stuck on a suit jacket or something, not a suit jacket, but it just looked a bit more like a hands-off person.
It could be deemed as like super try hard. Like
this is what.
Who's this guy turning up with a suit on, trying to?
But also, does it make you stand out above the rest?
Maybe.
Do you when you get 5 other people come around and they're wearing work uniform, and then why did this guy come around in? Do you know what I mean?
If you were at the point where you were the only person in the business, your prime role was sales, customer service, quotes, you're totally hands off the tools pretty much, or you spend the majority of the week going out and visiting customers and stuff, you'd probably invest in something slightly smarter than this.
I feel like it would only work if that registered, because otherwise it just looks like an act.
Yeah, you've got to be quite well established, I think.
Yeah. Or is it just an idea? Because if you walked into a commercial office and, they said, oh, we would like a quote for, I don't know, something. I feel like they'd be slightly edged towards you.
There's a chance you're landing bigger customers by looking presentable. If I turned up in like not a full-on suit, but you know what I mean, with a clipboard, with a name tag, there's a good chance you're impressing like a corporate customer, like a commercial customer. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just a thought.
The other thing I was going to ask before we jump off, your low pressure reel that's mounted in your van, have you had any leaks on that?
Not yet. The only thing I had is I had to tighten it up a little bit.
What sort of reel is it? Do you know where you got it from?
I got it from A1 pressure washers close to me, but they're far too expensive, and everything that I basically buy from them I can buy online for cheaper. The reel is that Tricoflex stuff because it says it all over it.
Yeah.
The hose is that Tricoflex stuff, but the reel I have no idea where it's from.
Okay.
Reel, I'm just shopping yellow, high pressure. I know it came from a drain jetting company because I'm its second owner.
Liam,
to be honest,
sorry.
Go on.
Liam, do you feel that your age or looking young sometimes affects people's first impressions of you? I don't think he looks young at all, to be honest. I think you.
I honestly think it probably helps. I've won a few quotes over this because people actually are curious. They're like, "How old are you?" And they're like impressed. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just.
It is impressive seeing someone your age with the drive to. Can you believe you're doing this at 21?
Well, if you said this to me 5 years ago, no. But I've always kind of been interested in building something. And I've always kind of I tried to do many things before this. Not like an actual business, but I tried, your standard stuff when you're a bit younger and things. I remember I tried to play people's FIFA games for them for money when I was a bit younger.
Really?
Yeah.
As a full-time business, trying to beat people on FIFA.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, people take it a bit seriously, but honestly, I think it helps sometimes because if you get chatting to someone, they generally are inclined, and I feel like the YouTube side helps as well. I just got a roof cleaning job because of the YouTube channel, which is the first one ever, because they were just so interested in you personally.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Do you get things like that sometimes?
I've had a couple of people where I've turned up to the quote and they'll be like, yeah, I've been I've been watching all your videos on YouTube. It's like, really?
Mm.
That's how you got in
Yeah.
touch? And they're like, yeah, I'm fascinated with everything. Like, it's pretty cool that's actually. It's not often, I'll be honest, but it's cool that I find it's the bigger jobs. Some of the bigger quotes that I've been to, they've got in touch because they've seen me on YouTube. It might be because they know it's a big job, and they actually want to see how the job's done first, because it's such a big investment, maybe, and then they found me. I don't know.
It's quite good because as soon as you type in Smarts pressure washing, it says your second down is your YouTube channel, and it does say 42.9k followers, which I think will be to some people. Is that the same person? Do you know what I mean? They'll click it and they'll be quite interested.
Yeah, but no one's typing in Smarts pressure washing into YouTube though. Into Google.
No.
They type in pressure washing, aren't they?
Yeah. But if they want to revisit, if they've seen you somewhere and they want to revisit it,
that's true.
It might.
Yeah.
If they've seen you looking for you, but yeah, I don't know. What's your area? I just want to have a look at
Redditch.
pressure washing Redditch. Oh yes, you're number one in that area. That
Really?
whole area on the businesses, yeah. So it's because of your reviews. You out-review everyone 3 times, some of them, which is good.
Because I'm not doing any ads or anything. Or I've set my website up and I've sort of left it. I'm not doing anything, so that's quite impressive. That's cool.
In specifically Reddit, yeah. The next one is Keep It Clean. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Keep It Clean exterior property roof cleaner, and then that's quite good though. I mean, 59 reviews is brilliant. I mean, where's the other next place?
Bromsgrove would probably be H2O. I reckon they've dominated Bromsgrove easy.
Bromsgrove. That was quite interesting, that insight to their operation.
It's cool, isn't it?
You're second.
I'm second in Bromsgrove.
H2O are first, and then you've got Rent to Kill, which is like a massive commercialised across the UK thing, who are advertising. But yeah, you're second in terms. You've actually got more reviews than H2O, which puts you you're ranking 7th in the whole of Birmingham.
Bloody hell!
Without advertising, but that's just general SEO because your reviews and clicks and things.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
I mean,
Birmingham probably quite a lot of.
While you're looking at that, what sort of frost protection are you doing this winter? Have you got a plan?
I've been going over the top. I put 2 duvets over it last week and an oil field heater. I'm worried because everything's so organised at the back, but I can't access it. So all my hoses, basically, I've put the window cleaning tank in there. I don't know why, but I have. My hose that comes from my pressure washing tank into my pressure washer is so neatly packed behind there. I can either take it off and leave it, or I leave it attached and just wrap it. But then my other that comes out of the window cleaning tank and things is all around the outside. I can't wrap that up, so I basically have to keep that warm.
Yeah.
With the radiator. So I'm basically just doing anything to keep everything from freezing. And I also last week parked it in my container shed opposed to at home.
I wonder how much difference that's going to make.
It just doesn't. The reading in there the other morning was 2 degrees opposed to -1.
Okay, fair enough. It's definitely working then.
It was just hot out of the wind, if you know what I mean. Everything.
Yeah, I think I haven't found a solution yet that I'm happy with. I'd like to I thought about filling my tank halfway up and putting in a submersible immersion heater on a thermostat, so the whole tank acts as like a radiator, which I thought was a very cool idea. And then I've looked at the diesel heaters, but they seem a lot of work to set up. I've also thought about running something, because I've got 2 big batteries in the back of the van to run the pressure washer. I've thought about running some sort of circuit off that as a heater, but I've thought about those frost protect, those bars. You know, the bars.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah, I've also seen the thing at Darren's supply. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I just worry that it's not enough for my big van.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because it's just going to keep it just above, isn't it?
Yeah.
The freezing temp, but
My garage was 2 degrees last week, but my van was below freezing. Oh, okay. Dan says, I only ask as I'm in a similar position, still young and starting out, just wondering from your experience, has it affected you getting quotes, etc.? You seem to be doing really well for yourself. I would say the opposite, and that people want to see someone young succeed in business. If they can see that someone's driven and they're trying and they're working hard, I think everyone wants to see you succeed. It's a selling point, if anything. If you ranked your marketing methods from best to worst, what would be your top 3 to 5, and how much effort in each as a rough percentage? Oh, that's quite an in-depth question from MH Exterior Cleaning.
in terms of effort, if it was just me, leaflets would definitely be one. If you source that out, it's not even in the top 3.
Do you think it's effective?
I haven't done enough testing of leaflets, which is why I want to stick as many out as possible, as quickly as possible. If you're manually doing everything yourself, leaflets is number 1, definitely.
Yeah, it takes so much time, and for such a potentially low yield of work, it's quite soul destroying knowing that you're going to probably put out 500 leaflets and maybe get 2 or 3 leads.
What I'll do, hang on, I'll just make a list because he's asked 2 questions in one. So I'll do the most difficult, the most effort, and then the best 3 in terms of leads.
Mm-hmm. You can get longer, more powerful tube heaters for bigger vans. Yeah, the issue is I'm then still in the same boat where I've got to run an extension lead from, at the moment, without anything extra in the van. I've got to run an extension lead from the van to the house, and so I might as well just use my radiator. I'm not really bothered about the difference in a couple of extra pence in running an oil-filled radiator overnight for like what's probably going to be 5 to 10 days of the year where it's like below freezing. I don't know, how often does it go below freezing at night? Can't remember what it was last year. Tube heaters work, you just need to be above freezing. I use 4.
So my list in terms of difficulty and most effort, number 1 is definitely leaflets. Number 2 is definitely door to door if you're going to go door knocking. And number 3 is organic, which is the slow SEO.
Wouldn't organic be like return customers and stuff and people recommending?
Yeah, like word of mouth. Organic, it definitely is the hardest, I'd say, most effort, because you have to stay on top of everything, like your reviews, and make sure you do the best possible job you can. And, you know, because it's extremely hard to get a good name everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's extremely hard to do the absolute best job every single time.
One bad job can like ruin your reputation.
This is the thing, yeah. So that's why I say it's the most one of the most effort, because you're constantly wanting to do the absolute best you possibly can at all times, and it's just hard. It's just hard to stay on top of like your reviews and things like that.
Yeah.
And then the best 3 also depends on how quickly you want to grow. But Google Ads for me always remains number 1, because you're targeting the right people at all times. You're targeting people that are actively looking for you. Leaflets I put a question mark next to, because I don't actually know the return on that yet. But door to door is definitely second, because you can, if you wanted to go out tomorrow and you wanted to get a pressure washing job, you would knock all day, and I guarantee you get a pressure washing job. If you knock.
That's what I'm thinking for people who are desperate to get their first couple of jobs, but they don't know where to start. It's like literally just have a drive around, knock on some doors, and you will get you will land a job eventually.
No, absolutely, absolutely, definitely. No matter what it is as well. Like you could try roof cleaning with gutters, pressure washing windows. You'd get something that day, 100%.
As long as you're not,
Sometimes.
as long as you're not an absolute yob and you turn up looking like a right state and a scruff, and you know.
Yeah, and also if you're kind of like, I feel like it's very important when you're door knocking to not look like you're trying to sell them something. I stand a good few meters away, and I act as if I'm. Do you know, like when you see on films and stuff when kids go around selling cakes to people? I almost feel like that at all times when I'm knocking doors. I feel like I'm stood far away. I'm not throwing it down their throats, and I'm just politely asking.
What I tend to do is keep it like as brief as possible, and just almost do it as I'm walking away. Just give them the leaflet and say, just let you know, we're doing some gutters in the area. We do driveway cleaning, roof cleaning, all that sort of stuff. So if you need anything, we're going to be round the corner. My number's on there. Just drop me a text or something. And it's like, no hard sell, nothing. It's just, there's my information. It's in a bit. Just
put it in their face, yeah.
It's probably not the best method, but...
It probably is for leaflets, I'd say, if you're doing it yourself. Because you're actually, the leaflet's in their hand, it's not just getting lost.
But also then, I'm trying to justify it to myself, like, the customer's probably thinking, why didn't he just stick it through the door?
Yeah.
Why did he need to give it me by hand?
I think it just shows that you're not just like someone that's just throwing a leaflet through a door.
Yeah.
That you're actually...
Yeah, true. Liam, if you are planning a big leaflet drop, investing in a pocket landline is worthwhile. Gives a clear way to track the amount of traffic solely from the leaflet. It's a very good point, although it's too late now because he's already done 20,000 leaflets. Has he got your mobile number on?
Yeah.
I'm with Air Landline. And that's a really good idea. If you're just putting your landline onto a leaflet, and that's the only place where your landline number is, you can see exactly the return on those leaflets. Exterior Essentials, that is a fantastic idea.
That's a very good idea, and I will definitely do that in the future. The only thing I've done this time is because Royal Mail, you can choose the areas. I'll know if it's come from the leaflets.
Right.
Because I've chose the areas that I don't target at all.
The other issue is I pay £11 a month for that privilege of just having a landline number. And I'm not sure it's worth it because I barely get anything through from the landline. People always call me on the mobile. Can be an easy foot in if you offer some email service like gutters. Sorry, I read that wrong. Offer some small service like gutters. Then once they know you, upsell later. Yeah, absolutely. If you can do a good job on the small stuff, chances are you're going to do a good job on the big stuff as well.
Have you ever gone door to door and said your gutters are looking for or something? Or tried to be like emotional about it and tried to push a point?
I don't like to fearmonger to sell. Like when people put all these Facebook ads and they say, I'm sure we've all done it. I'm sure I've done it in the past. Full gutters can lead to water ingress and all this sort of stuff. I actually did it in my most recent video where I did an advert, my first video for like proper all my service. This is what I do, gutter clear and pressure washing. It was a video advert. I don't like that sort of marketing where it's like everything's going to go wrong unless you get me to come and clean your gutters.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I have gone into places in the past and just pubs and all sorts of stuff. We've pulled up to a pub before. I've looked at the roof and I've gone back to the van and got a leaflet and just been like, can I have a beer, please? They serve us. And I'll be like, by the way, I've noticed your roof's like got loads of moss or your gutters are full. Can you just pass that on to the manager, please? Just no hard sell, nothing like that. Just like, there's my details, just in case you're interested. Do you?
I did that to Brewers Fair the other day. I don't do it to domestic, only commercial. I did it to a Brewers Fair, which is 4 stories. I don't actually know why. They haven't actually come back, quite thankfully, because I don't know how I'd do it. But yeah, I could see that they had like trees growing in their gutters, and
Yeah.
there was moss all up on the entrance and things. And I went in there and I looked. Oh, I didn't go in there. I was in Lidl, but opposite is Brewers Fair, and I looked at it and I thought, that's not attractive if you're gonna stay in a hotel or eat there, because there's a Premier Inn joined to the Brewers.
Yeah.
I thought I was just gonna run in there, give him a business card, and just say, this is what I do. I can help you if you're interested, kind of thing. And I went in there and said, all right, can I speak to your manager, please? Whatever. And the manager wasn't actually there. So I spoke to the young lady that was in there, and I got the manager's email. And I sent them an email, which is basically quite politely saying that your gutters are full. I'm willing to help clear them out as a good gesture.
Your place looks absolutely gross.
Yeah.
You get someone to sort it.
It honestly, if a customer's gutters look like that, you'd want to clean them.
Yeah.
They were just terrible.
Did you get the job?
I haven't heard back. It was about a week ago.
I reckon that's a really good strategy for roof cleaning and gutter clearing, is literally just go around all the pubs and just, because it's so obvious and it's a very high ticket job and it clearly needs doing. They can't argue that it needs doing. It's like you've literally got trees growing out of the gutters, because most of them do. I think it's a very, if I put more effort into, I reckon if I went round tomorrow and visited all the pubs in Redditch and just handed a leaflet, you got to go at the right time, because not all of them are open in the morning. You got to go in the afternoon, really. Handed them a leaflet behind the bar, I reckon I'd get at least 2 or 3 calls.
Oh yeah, I've never done pubs. I never even thought of pubs, to be honest.
I generally knock each side where I'm working with the excuse of telling them to let me know if there's any moss goes over or under the fence. Then I post leaflets for about 10 houses either side. That's a really good point. I do that with roof cleaning and pressure washing. I'll knock next door and just say, just let you know, there's going to be a lot of noise from next door because we're cleaning the roof. If anything does come over the fence, would you mind leaving your back gate open so I can just pop round and make sure everything's clean? And that way you've introduced yourself to the customer. They know they can trust you because you're a nice guy. And you've let them know what you're doing. And they might be like, do you want to quote ours while you're here? That's happened so many times. Such an easy way to sell the neighbour.
Do you find as well that if they're like terraced houses, you tend to get them all together?
No, I don't do much terrace houses because you tend not to be able to get through to the back without going all the way around. And I hate those jobs with poor access. Do you?
I tend to find that if I get one terrace job and I'm there on the day, the other 2 will come out. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because all their gutters and stuff are all connected up, aren't they, the whole way along?
Yeah.
And everything's all the same, isn't it?
And it is very clear that if you get the one clean, the other 2 are going to stick out like a sore thumb. I had a chap telling our neighbours he could see that their gutters were blocked. Then he knocked our door saying the same thing when ours are clear. Worth mentioning, but not if it's bullshit. I had a chap telling our neighbours he could see that their gutters were blocked. All right, so he's just going around, even though you can't see him from the ground, he's just going around trying to tell them they need sorted. Have just sent you our latest leaflet to your Insta-Jake, working on an estate full of dirty render, so made 300 of these, box to write personalised quotes. Oh, that's a good idea. I did do that a while back. I made a leaflet which had door number, price, service, where I could literally handwrite it in and then post it through the letterbox, so it's like an on-the-spot quote. No effort from the customer. They don't even have to answer the door, but they've got an instant price for like a driveway clean or something. I think that was a potentially quite a good idea, but I'd never put too much effort into it.
You ever consider doing any free jobs for random customers, like knocking on the door, making a video out of it?
I've done one, and it's because... Hang on.
Well, that's nice leaflet.
Oh yeah, so it's got a space there where you can write the address and stuff. Oh, I'm dying for a wee. I'm gonna have to go in a minute. That's a really good idea, because you've got a picture of the render cleaning, and that's the main service that you want to sell. And if it's a street full of houses that are just render, that's a nice idea. What was your question, just?
3 jobs.
3 jobs. I did one because I went to do the quote. It was a girl that I used to know from school. Two kids, one like freshly born little baby. Fresh? I don't know, newborn baby.
Freshly born baby.
And I give them a quote for their block paving out the back. It's probably about 300 quid. And they were like, that's quite a lot more than what we were expecting. So we'll probably just save up and have it done like later in the year or next year or something. Because we've just had a baby, so we can't really afford that sort of money at the minute. I was like, I'm feeling nice. And like work was going well. I had like a decent amount of work coming in. So I thought I can spare a morning just to go around and pressure wash the block paving out the back. And it was beautiful block paving. I thought I'll make a video out of this and it's going to be a really nice job to do. And so I just sent them the quote. I sent them a reply just to say, I've revised the price and I've given you a slight discount. And I just said,
0.
Yeah, just like 100% discount.
That's nice, yeah.
They gave me a ping pong table for the back garden.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You 2 lovebirds still going? We're having a good old, what did my brother call it?
Chinwag.
No, we're having a good yarn. Right, I think I'm going to go, mate, because I'm desperate for a wee. And
yeah. I need to go for hours as well.
Yeah. It's been really fun talking to you. This is, I think we should do this regularly because this is just really easy for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm easy.
I reckon
what I'll do, I'm going to keep basically documenting all these leaflets, and I have some info if you want to do it again then.
Yeah, when you got a bit of a return on them to see whether they've been successful or not.
Yeah. Because I feel like it'd be quite interesting for people to hear about what their return rate is and what the lead rate is and things as a percentage.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, thank you. This has been really fun. Like I said, I knew beforehand that we'd have so much to talk about. I barely prepared anything, so this is cool. Good luck with your roof cleaning. I don't know how you do so many every week, but every month. I don't have it in me to do. I see you posting on your Instagram all the time. I'm just like, how's he doing this many roofs on his own?
Oh yeah, it does get a bit too much sometimes, but it's worth it this time of year especially.
I'll give you Jakey's number because he'll tell you how to sort that wrist out. He does all sorts of like rest, ice, and then heat pack, and then rest, ice, and then he's like, it'll sort it out within a couple of days. You know, he knows his stuff.
Has he got a plunge pool?
You are?
Has he got a plunge pool, is he?
No, he does, with all his injuries that he gets from rugby, he knows how to like treat strains and all that sort of stuff with ice. And,
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Right, mate, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much.
Have a good night. See you in a bit.
You too.
Right, guys, that was fun, wasn't it? What I'd like to do is I'm just going to run a quick advert and then I'm going to shoot straight off. So thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for the support tonight, the donations and stuff. That's been very kind. If you haven't already, have a look at the new video that came out tonight about 5:30 this afternoon. It's just a little walk around of the van so you can see literally every piece of equipment that I've got in the van. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit. Now these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have 2 other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching. Back to the